まで I believe 一つの明日 Hey We share the music We share the good times 暗闇迷い込んで探りで謎解き行き先見えずに立ち止まる時
Coming to you from the New World, this is Mushi Weekly. I am your host, Sammy, and our co-host...
Hello, I'm Div.
Hi, I'm Takt.
And our special guest for this episode...
Hi, I'm MDN.
And this is the 5th episode of your official OJ podcast where we discuss and review your latest One Piece chapter. But for this week, this is not a One Piece chapter, it's just a good old special episode about discussing One Piece and just answering your questions. So expect it to be shorter, but at the same time expect it to be longer. It just depends on how much we deviate and how long our discussions are. I know it doesn't make sense, but it just varies. So we do have 5 discussions in total. 3 were in which we kind of chose, we didn't really choose, you guys chose them, that are the most liked, and 2 from our own choices. And we're going to start off with the most liked, Riley Escobar's discussion, which is, out of all characters seen or told about, who would you like to return or be reintroduced? Firstly, I kind of want to hear your opinions, guys, about it at first, because if I start, I'm never going to finish, and Divvens knows why. I have so many that I want to just see real soon. I'm just going to drop names. NL, Rob Lucci, so yeah, you guys can go now.
Well, I want to see Gin back. Gin from the Baratai arc.
Oh, that guy is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he is freaking awesome. On a side note, the person I don't want back is Don Craig. I want him to stay as far away from the manga as possible. Because I thought he was a horrible villain. But yeah, I want Gin to come back. And, my second pick would be Gecko Moria. I want to see him again. Like,
Really?
Yeah, I want to see how he escaped from Doflamingo and, from Marineford in general.
It was sort of,
Abu Salam.
hinted as how he escaped in an SBS when Oda said Abu Salam was in Marineford, and then he mentions Gecko Moria and then says hint hint.
And Abu Salam is still alive in the New World. He's the one who reported he's the one reporter known as Absa. So I think there's also.
He was my third name actually. I was going to mention Absalom. I want to see him back too.
But yeah, I mean, as far as Gecko Moria escaping, it was never really about Shadow or whatnot. It was just him going invisible because Absalom made him go invisible. Then again,
okay. Well, I hadn't read the SBS, so I was just going off of what Doflamingo said. I think Doflamingo said, who would have thought that Gecko Moria would have such an ability with him? Something along those lines.
But the thing is, like, wouldn't you be capable of kind of telling if someone is here or not with collars of observation?
Yeah, that's true.
That's one thing that I've never understood. Anyway, so for you, it's,
Gin, Gecko Moria, and Absalom.
I don't really care much about Gecko, but Gin, man, I fucking...
Yeah.
He even gave, Sanji a go for his money, so...
Oh yeah. He was a pretty strong character. And, as for the rest of the names, they're pretty much the same as yours. NL, Rob Lucci, and Blackbeard.
Okay. What about you, MDN?
For me, it's the new Shichibukai, whoever that is, because just the build up to the movie C of how big of a character he was.
Yeah, I agree with the new Shichibukai. We really need to see it, like, soon.
The 7th Shichibukai and fucking Kaido, man. Kaido. I just want to see Kaido so bad after all the hype he's got.
I don't know. I don't think we'll see him till next year, like 2015.
I'm just saying I want to see him. What the
Yeah, I have to put a damper on everything.
Let's let MDM speak more about whom he wants to see.
Yeah, it would just be the 7th Shichibukai and Buggy as well, because every time we see him, he just cracks me up every time, ever since, like, he came back from, Impel Down. I just think he's a brilliant character.
He is the funniest character to me, like, bar none in One Piece. He is the funniest.
And he's Oda's favorite as well.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Oda said
I didn't know that.
Oda even said that if he was to be in a pirate crew, he would be in Buggy's crew.
Yeah, I read that one, yeah.
And he said if he wanted the pirate crew that is, like, strong, he would join Blackbeard's.
Yeah.
So, more hint. But yeah, as far as Buggy is concerned, speaking of him, because he's a Shishibukai now, as we all know, and I kind of want to, like, reiterate about something Divvens talked to me about a few days ago regarding his strength. Do you guys think Buggy as a character has grown in strength significantly, at least, to the point where he can rival like just mid-tier characters since he's a Shishibukai and all?
Maybe. I think it's a possibility.
I think Buggy can be as strong as pre-timeskip Crocodile, because just hear me out, okay? Just hear me out, because the time we saw Buggy before he was sent to Impel Down, and then when we saw Buggy when he was in Impel Down, there was already a lot of character growth in his. There's already a lot of growth in his character. He was much stronger in Impel Down and after Impel Down than when we saw him the last time. So he has shown growth, and I think when he became a Shichibukai, when he got that place, most people think that, oh, he's just there because of his crew. That is a factor. His crew are loyal and remind me a lot of, no offense, but it reminds me a lot of those blind religious people who follow anything and everything. So with this as well, I think he did for some time just run thinking that his crew can handle everything, but at some or the other point, he himself would have had to get stronger. So I think we will see him a lot.
To be honest, I mean, if I got a Shishibukai reference, I would be even more complacent if I can just stand my place and search all the treasure I want without the pursuit of
Marines.
Like Marines, I would just be as complacent as it gets. Like I can totally see him like sitting in a chair with food and just like laughing at everything and everyone. But then again,
that's true. I can definitely see him doing that, but at the same time, I can definitely see him growing as well.
Thing is, like, I don't know
about pre-timeskip Crocodile though.
I think Crocodile was stronger than Luffy. Just like,
yeah, that's a bit of a stretch for me.
What do you think, MDN?
I can't see him being that strong. I mean, for me, he's always seemed quite strong because he did give like Luffy quite a good fight. Like at the start of the series, plus he is the closest person ever coming to killing Luffy to the point where Luffy himself gave up. But I think he's at the highest level of a mid-tier character in terms of strength.
So you put him above like someone like Frankie?
Yeah, I think he could, like, you know, taking into account, as Divvens was saying then, of his growth over the 2 years. But even then, that's a push.
I mean, Frankie himself has grown to a point where...
Wait, which Frankie are we talking about?
Well, there's only one Frankie.
No, I mean pre or post timeskip.
Post timeskip Frankie is at the top of mid-tier, in my opinion. So...
Okay.
Yeah, I think Buggy is clearly stronger than Frankie as of now.
Whoa.
I'm not sure about that.
I don't think Buggy is going to be stronger than Sanji, Zoro, Luffy, but I think Buggy is stronger than everybody else in the Straw Hat crew. That has to... Come on, he's in the New World and he's a Shichibukai, and people would... Dumbheads like Luffy would try to go and kill him to get fame. We know pirates who do that. And I think he's also...
His crew can take him out alone. Like, I mean, his crew even made Whitebeard say, the prisoners who escaped, even Whitebeard himself said, I know he would probably just spit on them and kill them all, but I mean, he even stated that, these pirates are strong and I just don't feel like fighting them, I just don't feel like having more, foes, so, yeah, like, it's gonna be a pain.
Yeah.
So, it's really just based on the fact that he, firstly, is connected to Rayleigh, Shanks, and Roger. And secondly, he has a crew that can hold its own right now. And he may as well be the first pirate captain who's weaker than his crew.
That is yet to be seen. Because knowing Buggy, I know him very well what he's aiming for now. He would still be aiming to become a Yonko. That is his dream. And I think he would have grown.
Buggy as a Yonko, my god.
I don't see him. Like, who would have expected him? Yeah, there was hints that we saw the bat going to Jinbei and the same bat going to Buggy, and even I made a speculation that, for sure we're going to see him as a Shichibukai. And I think that with that rank comes also a responsibility. That if you don't scare other pirates, and if you can't, like Moria was decided that he's garbage and he needs to be removed from the Shichibukai. But for some reason they couldn't just kick him out, because I think there's some sort of contract between these Marines and Shichibukai.
I mean, Moria, you think is weak, right?
No, Moria was weak for the standards of Shichibukai.
Yeah. No, I agree. For the standards of Shichibukai. Then a lot of other pirates out there who probably want to become Shichibukai could have went for him and fought him, but they just didn't. And the same thing will go with Buggy.
Yeah. If Moria was weak for the Shichibukai, then we can sort of assume that Buggy is his replacement. Buggy has to be stronger than Moria.
The impression of Buggy is stronger. I mean, even the Marine who was talking to Buggy is like, "Oh, you've been hiding all this time, and now you're making your move. What's your purpose? Why do you want to save Ace? Why are you giving us this much threat? What's going on?" Like, they always thought, like, they were under the impression that he's this strong and like he's this sort of legendary pirate in the making because he's connected to Rod.
I think I get your point. So you want to be like how Demalo was trying to be the fake Luffy and trying to get the strongest crew under him. So Buggy's practically living that dream. Yeah,
and the thing is, like, even his face in the panel where it says he's a Shichibukai kind of tells you that he's living the dream. Like, I don't believe this is happening. This is really going on right now. This is a thing. I am a Shichibukai. I am no longer pursued by the Marines, and that's the thing with him. To me, if he gets slightly stronger, which I think he would, then okay. But if he gets really stronger to the point where you can compare him to Frankie post time skip, and God forbid Crocodile pre time skip, then I mean, it all depends.
I don't see the Crocodile, but I can see him being equal to Frankie at least. That's possible, yeah, definitely.
But yeah, what about you, Divs? Who do you want to see again?
Well, two of the names has already been taken. One was taken by Takt, that was Gen. One was taken by MDN, that was Buggy. And there's one more character I want to see. Like, we've already seen him a little, but I want to see more of him, is Akainu. Because what he has done within these 2 years, the power he has given to Marines, like Jinbei said, and I quote, that Garp, Sengoku, and a few others Garp, Sengoku, and Kuzan leaving the Marines should have actually made the Marines weaker because they were losing a lot of power. But in turn, the Marines have never been as strong as they are. That just shows what Akainu has been doing for the last 2 years, and he had the balls to take the Marine HQ and put it right in the New World, in the playing field of the Yonko. He was like, he's like, if you guys want to rule this ocean, so am I, and I'm putting my HQ right here. The same, like, we saw the old HQ being destroyed by White Bear. That was just one Yonko. So this guy was like, I'm just going to piss off the rest. And yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, it always makes me laugh when I watch the Sengoku speech, and Sengoku is all like, this place is really vital because it connects all the countries and everything, and we're in the center of the world. And then, kind of 2 years later, fuck you, Sengoku, it's gonna be in the New World. Like, whatever happened to the place being vital and stuff? What's going on?
Yeah, he was like, this is the center of justice and stuff. But I think that Yeah, their marine forces would have depleted a lot in the Grand Line, but I think the Grand Line in general may have got a little more peaceful since the Marines have gained a lot more power. And the worst generation, the one that caused all these problems in the New World, have shifted to in the Grand Line have shifted to the New World. So,
But then you sort of have a new generation coming in, and Cavendish and Bartolomeo were part of that new generation.
no, Cavendish
So
was a part of the old generation. He was even in New World
Okay,
before.
yeah, sorry. I think Bartolomeo was the one who's part of the new one.
Bartolomeo is 1 year. He is this year's generation. Let me give you an example. Bartolomeo is this year's generation and was who was it again? Caribou 2 years ago. Like was he a super rookie 2 years ago?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I think so as well. But why was he in Sabaody Archipelago?
Now, I think he's with the Bartolomeo generation. He's counting.
Yeah, I think so.
And he has a double the bounty of Caribou? Even if he...
What?
He has double the bounty of Bartolomeo. No, I think he is I really remember, something about, Caribou being, a supernova 2 years ago. Like,
You mean with Kid and Luffy and stuff?
He wasn't mentioned in the same supernova category.
My bad. He's 1 year. I kind of confused myself. Alright,
Yeah.
so he's at least 1 year ago, or, wait, was Bartolomeo, no. Let me see.
Look, stop confusing yourself, okay? When
No, I just realized
Caribou
something.
was introduced in Shabondi Archipelago, he was said to be one of the ruthless rookies of this generation, so he's along with Barto.
So, no, Barto is less.
I mean, my basic point is the problems in the Grand Line have not decreased. So, I mean, but what Akaino's doing, and I think how he changed the Marines is he's just made them more ruthless than they used to be. I mean, under Sengoku, it was all about tactics and stuff.
I would rather use the word right. He made them more righteous.
Yeah, I think he has given every Marine soldier enough power to execute anyone they feel needs to be executed.
For me, that's ruthlessness, honestly.
No, man, that's righteousness. That's totally plausible. It's really logical for Marines to do that. Yeah, I fully support Akaino. He's not ruthless. He's just a peaceful man trying to create a peaceful country.
Peaceful man.
I mean,
Peaceful.
maybe.
I'm trolling.
Maybe ruthless is the wrong word. I mean, maybe clinical is a better word, but he's just made them more clinical.
No.
That's how I think he compensated for the depleted forces. Just made the existing forces more...
The perfect word for this would be absolute justice. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
What do you think about that, Indian? By the way, you should kind of speak more, man.
But, you know, I think it's brilliant, the concept of it, the way, you know, we lost 3 of the strongest people we've seen in series so far, and then he comes out and Jinbei says that the Marines are now stronger 2 years ago. And then we got our first, look at it, like, a few months ago when Fujitora made his appearance. I think you used the same as myself, was just shocked by, like, the fact that this meteors came from outer space. And then this green bull, I can't remember what the Japanese name was.
Yeah.
But apparently he's on the same strength as well. And there was a hint that there was a kind of world recruit going around, which people of probably not similar strength, but
I have a question. Oh, I have a question though. Like regarding what Indian said, the military enlistment.
Yeah.
Why stick with 3 admirals if you can find like more people as strong as Fujitora and Ryokyoku? Like why not go for 5 admirals?
Has it been confirmed that it's only still 3 admirals? Because for all we know, it could be 5 admirals, like you say.
The only doubt about it is because the way Doflamingo said it is like you and Green Bull have been a really great asset to the Marines since you guys joined.
I made a theory on this on OroJackson. I'll speak a bit about this. He said that Fujitora, I have heard stories about you, the man given the admiral rank during the global military enlistment. And then he said you and Ryukoku are supposed to be formidable, venerable beasts. So he just mentioned that these two are supposed to be beasts. So there is a possibility that there are more admirals, but I also think that I kind of think that the number is still around 3.
I think it is gonna be 3, because I think it's keeping the balance of the world powers, because it was the 3 admirals for Yonkos in the 7th GP prize, which was the world, strength, where like the balance.
They don't want to keep the balance on the long run. Akainu doesn't want to keep the balance on the long run.
I'm talking about more from Oda's point of view of keeping the balance of the manga.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if, obviously, it was kind of, if they had 5 people turning up with who was stronger than just for an example, they would obviously just put them all forward for admiral ranks.
Mm-hmm. And there was also this global military enlistment. We know that in our world, whenever there's wars and when the country needs more soldiers, they open up enlistments to anyone and everyone who is able to pick a gun, 16 and above. So I think that something like this went on, like the recruitment. And I also think it's possible, knowing Akainu, that Marines who were removed from active duty for things like maybe harming civilians while doing their duty, or for whatever reasons, who were removed from active duty, Sakazuki could have brought them back and reinstated them because he thinks that they make perfect for his sense of justice.
People like Shiryu and whatnot. If Shiryu was still in jail, he would have probably said, "How about you become a vice admiral with me," or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I can see that happen.
Yeah. So now I'm just gonna kind of go on with my. I know I earlier stated that I'm not gonna rank them, but as I was discussing this, I came up with a rank, a decent rank to who I want to see the most out of let's say 4 people and whatnot. Just generally, okay, the person who I want to see the most out of all the people who were introduced and whatnot is Enel. Enel is one of my fucking favorite characters in One Piece, and actually, if shown more, he can easily be my favorite character in One Piece. I just fucking love Enel. I love the way he acted. I love the way he just fights and everything. And if the gap between strengths goes with the same format when it comes to post-time skip and pre-time skip, along with Enel, he's going to be as devastating as it gets. Because if you see the difference between Kobe then and Kobe now, the difference between Crocodile then and Crocodile now, even though it was just about the hype with Crocodile, but still the difference. And how we were discussing how Buggy then and now, how could he turn out? It's just that just the general idea of Enel being trained even further and has armaments hockey and just being there would I really want to see that. I'm such a huge fan of Enel, and seeing that would probably be the highlight of the One Piece year, whichever year it happens. And it's just that I don't fucking care about anything else that happens. It's gonna be my favorite moment. I'm certain of it. And introductions in One Piece, or reintroductions rather, are always epic. And I'm pretty sure Oda, when he reintroduces them, is gonna be as epic as other reintroductions. Now, the second most character I want to see in the New World at the moment is Rob Lucci and the CP9. Obviously, really, I'm not going to talk as much about Rob Lucci and the CP9. Everyone knows how much I fucking love Rob Lucci, and just seeing him with armaments hockey, observation hockey, and whatnot would be really awesome. And I just want to see a newer side of him, a side that realizes that he's not as strong as he thought he was, and that he's currently improving. For example, even though Luffy beat him, we know that for a fact that they were at least equal, if not Rob Lucci stronger than, and people would understand that with the third side iron attack, but I don't have to discuss that at the moment. All I'm trying to say is, if he had as much training in the 2-year span, imagine him being around the level of Luffy now, which just that idea kind of excites me, and I want to see more of it. Now, the third most interesting character to me that I want to see is Drake, and I kind of want to hear your opinion on Drake, guys.
Oh man, how could I forget about Drake? Yeah.
Yeah, Drake. I want to fucking see him so bad.
I want to see what he's doing with Kaido, or, against Kaido. I mean, why he attacked that island and what were the repercussions of that. I really want to see all that.
I just really want to see more of Drake generally. Like, I really want to see why he left the Marines. I want to see.
And his flashback too. Yeah.
Yeah, like, just everything. His mindset being, further explained. How Oda will portray the ancient Zoan T-Rex. I think it's a T-Rex. I'm not really entirely sure. It looks like a T-Rex to me. I'm not a professional or experienced with fucking dinosaurs. But anyway, I want to see how he portrays that to, like, the same level as he did with Law's Devil Fruit. And it's just like, yeah, fucking Drake, man. I want to see, like, his connections with Kaido. I want to see his past. I want to see his reasonings behind leaving the Marines, and just what his goal is. Is he looking for the One Piece? Does he want to be the Pirate King? Which I kind of doubt. But at the same time, it is possible, because that seems to be the case with most supernovas, especially the stronger ones, or the more hyped ones, so to speak. And yeah, like, does he want to stick with being a Yonko? Does he want to take out Kaido for a reason? Did Kaido do something to his family or something? I don't know.
Well,
For me, he's like one of the most interesting of the supernovas, because so far he's the only one who seems to be affiliated with a Yonko, while from what we've seen of the rest after the time skip, they are all basically out to get them, and it's like a nice change. But then at the same time, I think me, alongside everyone else, just thinks he's obviously got his ulterior motives, and then plus when we've seen the little picture of him as a kid that Oda drew, where he was so happy with his marine hat on, and he's gone to that point where something's happened, so he actually leaves the Marines. And I think, like, for such little information about the character, he is still seems very deep about him, if you understand what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he seems like the kind of character who would have the best flashback out of all supernovas, and he's the most complex as far as his resolve, his cause, his development, like, going from, as you said, like, I even, like, showed the picture with, in the topic I made about Drake, like, how he was smiling with the Marine hat since he was a kid, all the way to the non-smiling pirate who is currently just doing God knows what. And it really intrigues me. And so yeah, Divvens, you haven't really spoke about him.
I was just waiting to hear the opinions. I do think that, a bit more interesting history than Drake would be Jewelry Bunny, because the only fact that she managed to escape Akainu not once but twice, and I have this whole thing going on that we
already saw Jewelry Bunny once, and
that's what, she escaped again after being captured, so she's escaped twice. I mean, what's she doing to escape twice? And why does the world government want her so much? And is she possibly the reason that the Five Elders are living for way too long? So I kind of think that Jewelry Bunny's backstory and history will be more interesting than Drake's, but I think Drake is also going to be one of the top interesting.
I definitely see Jewelry Bunny having a flashback that is more significant to the whole story, because it's going to involve the world government, it's going to involve possibly Whitebeard, and it's because, she was crying when Whitebeard died, and she, like, really was fucking affected. Everyone was crying, but she was really affected. And how Akainu's blood, pun intended, started to boil, or like freeze, or whatever he said, when she escaped, but that's no longer the case. And the way she replied to him after that really makes it even more interesting. She's like, I'm never gonna forgive you guys. It's like as if she's being taken advantage of, and now she's back again, being taken advantage of. Then she ran away again somehow, some way. It's just, I'm really interested in seeing her flashback and seeing her introduced as well properly, not just, with one panel speaking about something in the newspaper, but more right now, just Drake.
Yeah, about Drake, I think it's a good mix, because I don't want to see every worst generation pirate go against a Yonko. We know that Law explained there's two choices. Law or Kid, I think one of them explained that you have two choices in the new world: either get under a Yonko, be allied to a Yonko, or go against a Yonko. So there's and I have this kind of theory that I'm working on right now. I may post it on OJ in some time, that I think that, like how they have these sleeper agents, so-called sleeper agents in CIA and FBI and stuff. I think that Drake is actually still true to his heart a Marine, but he has gone really undercover.
Oh.
And only a few, I think, including maybe one or two of the top-tier Marines or top-tier world government officials, not even Akainu.
He was killed by Kizaru?
Yes, because Kizaru doesn't know.
But wouldn't he be kind of reminded that,
you know what, that would be that's a great theory.
No, because I don't, look, what if, let's say, the 5 elders want to put in a spy and kill them from the inside? If Kizaru would have gone easy on Drake, that news would spread like a fire all over the world. So why inform the 3 admirals that this guy is one of ours? Let them treat him like another criminal. That just adds to the whole.
The downside to that is one of the 3 admirals may end up killing Drake. They'll just end up losing an operative.
No, maybe I don't think the admirals would probably kill him. They would just capture him and get him back to the HQ or something like that. We didn't see admirals outright killing pirates.
Because it's One Piece, but Kizaru actually tried to kill Basil Hawkins.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kizaru tried. But don't you think it would be interesting?
He shot an arrow through his heart. He just didn't know about Basil's, devil fruit ability.
Dude, he attacked him 50 times, and one of them, as Takt said, he shot an arrow through his heart, and just the fact that he had some sort of thing going through him that made him survive, but he was fully intending to kill Basil Hawkins. But then at the end it was like, fuck it, this guy doesn't want to die, can't be bothered.
I think what Basil has is something like voodoo, in the sense that he has voodoo dolls within him.
That's totally to do with black magic and different stuff. But what here I think is, because the only reason I say this is the young Drake we saw, who was he was just like Akainu. Even Akainu had a marine cap or something on, didn't he? So I think that Drake is quite loyal to the Marines, and he's going
Zephyr is quite loyal as well. Was quite loyal. Who's to say something happened in the Marines and
No, Zephyr felt betrayed because the Shichibukai who cut his arm got.
Bro, my point is, what if his flashback Drake is somewhat similar to the point, to where, who's to say, he felt betrayed, Drake felt betrayed by, the Marines and decided to leave the Marines, or something like that.
That's possible, but isn't that a second repeat? I don't see that happening. I just feel he's going to be a secret agent.
Personally, I like this idea better than the idea of him being...
Oh, don't get me wrong. I like the idea even more, about him being, an undercover Marine. It's just that one hint, for the love of God, just one hint would have been good, because we have gotten 0 hints from his presence.
I think when we move on to Kaido, we'll get enough, because I've always thought he'll help out the Law Luffy alliance when they get to Kaido. And this could be a reason why.
He either opposes the Law Luffy alliance, which would be interesting in of itself, or just kind of, as I said in the topic, one of the two things: betrays him or helps him. Kaido, that is. And when the right time comes, switch sides, get rid of Yonko, get your goals closer to you, or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, I see that happening as well, because there are 3 pirates going against Big Mom, and that if Drake joins Law Luffy, that would be 3 pirates against Kaido as well.
Kaido, yeah.
But then
I mean,
again,
now,
that reason would be for something higher, I think. But yeah, let's see what happens.
yeah, it's just really just speculations at the moment. And as far as Drake is concerned, the fact that we discussed him this much, to this depth explains why I just really want to see him and know more about him. And yeah, I'm just gonna end it with one more character, cause I'm fucking biased with this character. Blackbeard, I want to see him. The only reason why he's not higher in my list is because we've already seen Jesus Burgess and we've heard Blackbeard's voice, quote unquote, through a Denden Mushi and saw his face, quote unquote, through the Denden Mushi. And we kind of know a little bit more about him than the other three. I mean, Enel, we have no idea what he's doing. Ravolucci, we have no idea. We sort of do, but at the same time, we don't even know who's in the New World. And Drake, we sort of do, but he's more interesting at the moment. But Blackbeard I want to see him just because he's Blackbeard, and I fucking love Blackbeard. And yeah, I just wanted to state that before we move on. But anyone has anything to say about Blackbeard, Lucci, or Enel?
No, to be honest, the only real thing I want to see with Blackbeard is how the fact that he's, basically devil fruit hunting for powerful devil fruits. How does it work? Does he take them all himself, or has he got the ability to pass it on to his crew?
We do know that you can take the devil fruit, if you have a fruit near you and something like that, near the guy who dies.
Yeah, but I'm not sure I want to know whether he can give it to his crew, because the idea of his already ridiculously strong crew having, like, massive devil fruit powers is, like, a massive prospect of when the Straw Hats eventually get to that point where they fight.
That's the thing, and it's being hyped up to be, like, he himself and his crew are being hyped up to be, the crew that opposes the Straw Hats in Raftel and whatnot, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And with MTN, what he's saying, I think I made a post already somewhere in some Blackbeard discussion said that there's a possibility why that Blackbeard is like a medium. Why is he going hunting behind devil fruit powers? It's to gain them. And I don't think he can personally have, like, let's say 10 or 15 devil fruits. So is it possible that he takes a fruit and puts it in another body, something like that, and takes the fruit from their body and puts it in another body? Or maybe once it's taken, it's put inside someone, and that's it, until they die and cannot be taken back.
Simply kill someone, have a banana in your pocket, wait for the banana to get the fruit, and give it to your crewmate.
Something like that as well. If he can put devil fruits inside objects.
He can't. Guys, did you forget about Punk Hazard? When Smiley died, an apple near Smiley turned into the devil fruit?
See, I've had my theories about that as well, because I've got a theory that, because if you look at Luffy's devil fruit, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, it was kind of like more of an orange shaped than an apple kind of thing. And if, for example, it was Luffy who died there and then next to a load of apples, would that go into an apple, or would it only go into that type of fruit that it was originally? So basically go to the nearest one. The Smiley, for example, won't go into banana, it'd only go into the nearest apple.
No. In an SBS, Oda stated that the fruit goes to the nearest, the devil fruit power goes to the nearest fruit. Simply put.
Alright.
Like, I would have really liked to see, like, when Ace died and Whitebeard died, like 17 Marines and 14 pirates holding fruits, like, going, give me the power.
I was just thinking that, what if Doflamingo had a fruit all along there?
Yeah, do you think that's what Blackbeard did to get Whitebeard's fruit?
No. Blackbeard, as far as Blackbeard is concerned, because he fucking ate the fruit when he even had a fruit.
Okay, right, okay.
Like, he is different. Like, the fact that
he pulled out the fruit from the body. Something like that.
Look, I don't know if Blackbeard had an orange in his back pocket, or he did it with a Yami Yami no Mi power, or with the Cerberus quote unquote power, like where it absorbs the fruit only when someone dies. Like something. I always thought of something, by the way. Like, what if you can negate a fruit with your Yami Yami no Mi, but when a person dies, you can actually take the fruit, the essence of the fruit. Like, you can't take the essence of the fruit when someone is alive, because, it would be too OP. But when someone actually dies, you can actually take the essence. If that would be possible, then, I don't know, because, is he going to be rocking 15 Zoans, 14 Paramecias, and 3 Logias? Not so. But, just too many things about Blackbeard and how he takes fruits and...
There's a limit to how much one can control as well. Like, so much going inside him.
That's the thing. Like, I wonder if Blackbeard can punch with the darkness fruit and the quake fruit at the same time.
Oh my god! Oh my!
Like,
don't even speak about that. Imagine him pulling Luffy towards himself while getting ready to punch him with the quake fruit.
Yeah, that would just make Luffy evaporate. Pre-time skip Luffy. I don't know about post-time skip Luffy.
Let's move on to the next topic now.
Alright, Riley, overall, the names that were mentioned are Blackbeard, Enel, Rob Lucci, Drake, Gin, Buggy, Gecko Moria for some reason.
And, it's just me, man.
No, it's just you. Because, I freaking hated Gecko Moria. I didn't want to see him ever again. Just fucking laugh and everything about him just being lazy, But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. The second most liked topic, by Froge. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. It's been a while since I watched Fairy Tail, and frankly. Anyway, totally forgot how to pronounce, that cat's name. So yeah, what are your thoughts / theories maybe, about Kuma? What do you think, was his role in the Revolutionary before he became a Shichibukai? Why does he allow, to turn himself into the Marines, as a human weapon prototype? Do you think there is a possibility that he can come back to his past self? And Takt, take it from here, because you fucking love Kuma that much.
Yeah, I do love Kuma, but I cannot think of a reason why he would do this to himself, turn himself into a weapon, unless there's some sort of ulterior objective. Like,
Froge mentions something that I just realized. At the end, he says, do you think there's a possibility that he can come back to his past?
His past self. Yeah.
What if it is all of this to sort of fucking spy on the Marines, and one day, like...
Yeah, I was actually going to say that. I was actually going and say that, he's going to turn on, that somehow he convinced Vegapunk to, program him to, do this, to do reconnaissance for a while, and then go back to his past self, who was a revolutionary, and who would then transmit all this information back to Dragon. And,
Someone explain to me this. If you don't remember, please find the panel. I fucking beg you.
What?
And when Dragon was talking to Ivankov, and then Ivankov talked about Kuma, what does Dragon say? Does he say, I'm gonna tell you the reasons why he turned into that?
I'm going to tell you something about Kuma. He just said, I'm going to tell you something about Kuma. I have something to speak to you about. And he called Ivankov to him. He didn't speak it over the Tenzin Mushi. And I think there's only one thing about, some conflicting with the fact that where, Kuma asks Vegapunk to program something in him, is Vegapunk is loyal to world government. Why would he go against their wishes and program Kuma to go back to the revolutionaries, or program him to get his memories back?
No, but then again, he programmed Kuma to go to Shapondi Archipelago and everything else.
Maybe that was like one last wish he wanted, which was granted.
No. Like, we weren't talking about Vegapunk being the cause of him going back to his old self. Maybe, just maybe, there is a scientist in the Revolutionary Army, or just something that Kuma either sacrificed himself for the sake of giving Dragon intel somehow.
Oh, wait. I think some scientist in the Revolutionary might have built something called a backdoor, which is basically a system escape, which allows Kuma to go back to his past self.
Then wouldn't Vegapunk
that might actually be possible. That's true. Vegapunk might find that.
It's like a game of virus and antivirus.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is, Kuma did not only volunteer to become a fully robot, but he also suggested the idea. Am I correct? Am I not correct?
Yeah, he stepped into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, I mean, joining the Marines and volunteering to be experimented on when it comes to body enhancements and whatnot. That is one thing. Losing your fucking mind and becoming a complete robot is another. And there is a reason for it, and I cannot fucking wait to hear about it. But yeah, and yeah, what do you have?
I think he can get us past. I actually, for a long time, thought that Vegapunk might actually be affiliated with Dragon in some way, and I've always said that.
Shit.
When it comes to like a war between, say, the revolutionaries and the Marines, and they bring out the pacifistas, I do believe that Dragon's gonna say something to the pacifistas, and then they'll turn on the Marines, because Vegapunk's be programming them with the main command to come from Dragon, because obviously, as I said, like, I think he might be affiliated with Dragon. So what he's got to talk about with Kuma, I think it might be to do with the fact that Vegapunk is turned him into this, like, basic robot. He's nothing else anymore. And I think Vegapunk actually might have, I don't know, kind of downloaded his subconscious kind of thing to the point where he can put it back when whatever time comes.
Mm-hmm.
But for what the actual reasons are,
Okay,
that he's done it, I'm not quite sure.
I think Vegapunk might have been convinced into joining the revolutionary cause when he met Kuma. So whatever he did to Kuma and, the pacifistas and stuff, that might have developed as a result of that. I think he might have been turned into a revolutionary himself.
Oh, one thing though.
Later on. Not from the beginning.
One thing about, one flaw about, Kuma still having ties with the revolutionary is the fact that Kuma was ready to kill Luffy.
Yeah.
And also, quote unquote, killed Zoro. Just...
What if Kuma just betrayed the revolutionaries? That could also be possible.
Which is very possible. I mean...
But he still has some kind of respect for... But he did again, oh my god, why is he such a confusing character? He wanted to kill the Straw Hats, but again he saved them as well. So what?
No, but then again, this is actually a good point. He also tried to kill Ivankov, I think.
Yeah, but he had already lost his memories there.
At the time, he tried to kill Ivankov.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But beforehand, he was kind of commenting on how you're definitely Dragon's son. You have all these alliances and you have such loyal crewmates. He kind of acknowledges that Dragon's son is like, big deal. But at the same time, he was ready to kill him off.
But was he actually ready to kill him though? I mean, he could have, because he was sent there obviously by the Marines to do the job. But even when he came to the point where he was meant to kill Zoro turned around and said, the only reason I lived is because you let me. Which gives the impression that he never actually had the intention to kill either of them.
Thing is, like, why go through all the fucking hassle of trying to kill them and using them as a shock and taking all the pain of Luffy, all, bar none, like, seriously, all of it, and risking Zoro's life. He was, like, the time where he was nearest to death was at that point, Zoro.
Okay, wait, let's presume here that Kuma is actually very dedicated to Dragon. What if he just wanted to test if Luffy's choice of companions was as good as Dragon's? What if he knew that Zoro wouldn't die, but he wanted to test if Zoro was up to the game?
Too much of a risk, bro.
Yeah, it's too much of a risk.
But Dragon is that kind of guy. We have seen him doing the tough parenting kind of thing. Now we know he stopped Sabo, or rather, for some reason Sabo didn't show up. We are presuming
you don't do that though. You don't have the intent to kill, and at the same time take away.
But he didn't kill. See, like MDN stated, Zoro said that it was only because you let me live. That what if Zoro was like, he took the whole damage, but he was still alive. If Kuma wanted him dead, he could have killed him there, but he just walked off. or something happened behind the scenes that we don't know.
Kuma said in Subodi Archipelago after he saw Zoro, Kuma said, "Oh, so you're alive? I thought you died." That's what he said.
Yeah, but that's when Zoro straight away, like, said back to him, "I'm only alive because you let me live," or something to that effect.
Yeah, you let me live.
I mean, okay, he let him live, but he had to, like...
Okay,
I mean,
then explain.
the whole axe could just be to gain trust of the Marines, though, couldn't it?
I don't know.
But at the same time, he could have said something like, they got extra help from some pirate crew that, or someone unknown, or they managed to escape. I mean, if he can get away with making all of them disappear in Subodi Archipelago, he can get away with not killing them in Thriller Bark, especially.
But the thing that confuses me most is what you just mentioned, him separating them in Shabondi arc, because he sent everyone. He knew what would help them. He sent Nami to Vedria. He sent Sanji to that whatever island.
Oh my God,
I forgot. He sent Luffy to Boa Hancock's island, and I think he sent him there without knowing that Luffy would come back to the war. I think
I think
Kuma's
convenient by Oda.
No, I think Kuma's real intention to send Luffy to Boa's island was for Luffy to improve in Haki, because they guys were using Haki there, but it just turned out into helping Luffy.
Okay, quick question. How would Kuma even know this much detail, since even his father doesn't?
He must have
about how there was a connection with Zoro and Mihawk, and how apparently sending Sanji to
Mihawk is in the Shichibukai. Mihawk might just have mentioned Zoro in passing. You know, if they see bounties, if they see bounty posters of Zoro, I mean, Mihawk might have mentioned Zoro. I don't know.
So basically, it's not about Dragon; it's about him knowing.
What if it was a direct order from Dragon himself that sent them here, and here? What if Dragon was collecting information about the Straw Hats?
And he knew about each Straw Hat's power.
Yeah. He's a revolutionary after all. They must have come
He has a lot of intel, yeah. I mean,
that's possible.
Not to this fucking extent, seriously.
I mean,
he was actually in East Blue though, weren't he, at the same time as Luffy, because he stopped smoking, so there's nothing to say for the Sorrow Point, for example, that sent him to Mihawk's Island. There's a chance he could know that, because Mihawk and the people who watched the fight between Mihawk and Sorrow were bigging it up as if it was going to be these two massive powers, when in actual fact, we know that it was a massive power against, like, Sorrow, who's not compared to him. So, word could travel, and basically, from that, Dragon could have heard about it, thought none of it, but when he seen Zorro with Luffy, could have basically put two and two together, and knowing, like, what we've seen of Dragon so far, I think he might actually just be monitoring the crew anyway.
Yeah, I think that's possible, and because
there was that comment as well, wasn't it, about him saying Luffy's strong enough on his own now, or something along them lines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically now you can take care of yourself, Luffy.
Yeah.
But yet again, I reiterate, I don't know what you guys think about what Kuma was doing in Thriller Bark, but he had the intent to kill. I'm sorry, but to me that is the intent to kill.
See, but the Marines obviously had eyes there, didn't they? Because they sent...
Who cares? I mean, Kizaru had his eyes in Subodi Archipelago. A fucking admiral. And he still did what he wanted to do.
Yeah, I know, but Kuma was sent there by the Marines, weren't he? Because they knew Luffy was going to fight Gekko Moria, and the chance of Moria losing would have reflected bad because he took out two Shichibukai. Yeah. So they obviously knew he was there, for however the Marines knew that. And they'd sent Kuma. So Kuma, I think he might have just been doing everything he'd done as an act to gain trust of the Marines.
I mean, they did ask him how did they escape, and he said, son, I don't know. And there's no way they would allow him to go on.
I think that is a bit of I wouldn't quite credit that to Kuma. I would say that Sengoku was a bit lenient on Kuma.
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just that He
But
had the intent to.
MDN got a good point that Crocodile was in Log Town. We all know that the revolutionaries are like
You mean
based.
Dragon?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Dragon was in Log Town because we know that the revolutionaries are all spread here and there, taking around countries, and Dragon is in this secluded place that nobody knows. It's a secret place. What was Dragon doing all the way in Log Town? What if Dragon from time to time was keeping an eye on Luffy as a
We
parent?
do know he appears in the East Blue and in the North Blue, and like he doesn't stay in the Grand Line. He's not like a pirate trying to achieve something in the Grand Line. All he tries to do is liberate kingdoms, regardless of where they are.
So let's say he's on his job here and there, going around, and a couple of times he just comes across Luffy, but never meets him. He's just keeping an eye on his crew from here and there, and that's how he collected intel.
But still, in my opinion, this like all of this argument as far as how they were sent specifically to specific places and whatnot. All of this is, to me, negated with how Kuma was acting. Like, his inner monologue, his inner thoughts, the way he was speaking and reacting to what's happening in Thriller Bark is like, I see you guys are, like Luffy is as, crazy as, Dragon, and how it's like, I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't kill Luffy. Like, that inner monologue in of itself is enough for me to think that he's, fully, independent, from Dragon.
No, but Sammy, if Kuma wanted to kill them, he wouldn't use the Ursa shock and stuff.
He changed his mind.
He would have just annihilated them without even using the big explosion and stuff.
But still, he stayed after the Ursa shock and picked up Luffy, and was about to do something, and then Zoro stepped in, and then Sanji stepped in, and then Zoro was like, please take my life instead of, Luffy's. It's like, fine, I'll, do what you say because it's it's not in my honor to keep doing this, after all of this happening in front of me. I'll take your life instead, and in the process, I'll make you experience hell. I don't know.
I think we just need explanation on what was going through his mind, which we may never get.
We did have some sort of inner monologue with Kuma at that point, like reacting to Luffy and the Straw Hats in general. But we don't have an inner monologue about how he changed his way. I mean, come to think of it, like, even Takt mentioned that yesterday when I was discussing some stuff about Kuma with him. Kuma is one of the only people who have been in all three factions. He was a pirate, he was a revolutionary, and now he's a sort of part of the world government, a marine or something, just...
Yeah.
This guy, man, he has a lot of shit going on for him.
No, I do think that the theory that he's still he's an undercover revolutionary, it works to a certain extent. And whatever happened in Thriller Bark might just have been, tough parenting from Dragon's side. It's like, give them a test, give them a really strong test. He might have just done that.
Wow, if they can't survive, they aren't fit to be my son's crewmates. Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who knows?
I don't see that. It's way too far stretched to me. And too far-fetched. But yeah, I guess, I don't know. Alright, so we're done with the Kuma topic, and we've had a lot of discussions about it. It's just that some people think he might still be associated with Dragon. I personally don't think so because of what happened with in Thriller Bark. I have my own way of thinking. I mean, in when it comes to One Piece and manga in general, shonen specifically, there's a lot of coincidence and just convenient things that happen, and I think this was one of them. That Zoro surviving and whatnot. Anyway, the third topic, third most liked topic, by recorrelation, he suggests that we discuss the role of the Gorosei that they will play in the rest of the story, and are they merely five wise old men in a leadership position who simply give orders, or are they also hiding a lot more secrets than they already are, such as fighting ability or another possible weapon at their disposal. Now, before we even begin this discussion, all I'm going to say is that they know how to fight. Like, some of them are so muscular. Most of them are scarred. Hell, one of them has a sword. So, just, if they can fight, they can fight alright. Like, I can totally see them when, if, Marie Jones is in danger. I can totally see them going, Sateto. And they would just stand up, like, in an epic pose and, like, we're gonna fuck everything up right now. Sort of thing. But yeah, what do you guys think about the whole thing? Like, just Gorosei in general. When you hear Gorosei, what comes to your mind? What's going on?
See, with these, I think goes back to the whole, Bonnie point before, because I do believe they, and Bonnie herself, are a lot older than what they're being portrayed as, and I think they're at least a few more generations older, if not even more. But I can't see them not being strong, just as you said before, with the, like, scars and the guy with the sword. But the thing that puts me off that is, since the whole Battle of Marineford was so massive and so important, why didn't any of them step in?
They're not a part of the...
They wouldn't want to risk their lives. I mean, it's
not even about that. Like, they're not a part of the Navy. They're a part of the world government. If the Navy can't take care of themselves, like, you do realize, guys, that the world government and the Navy are two different sort of factions, but associated together, forming...
Yeah, but they're like the level above the Navy, aren't they? Because I think after Marineford, Sengoku got his orders from them, well, the world government, didn't he?
No, they're not they're not two separate factions, Sammy. They are one faction.
They're also a part of the... No,
Yeah.
I used the wrong word. I didn't want to use the word faction. Just, I don't know how to explain this. I mean, you guys have the same impression as I do.
two different organizations, I guess.
No, the world government, the Navy is the Marines is the fighting force of the world government, the military power.
I know. But what I mean is, the leader of a country in modern days doesn't fight with his army. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the president,
Yeah.
But I don't see this being that kind of thing. Like, the five elders, I think they can be based off of two. There was one council of five elders in Japan, and there was something known as five elders in southern Chinese folklore as well, which I tend to think that Oda would go more to inspiring the five elders from the folklore rather than actual history, but it could go any way, like in any sort. One of the councils of five elders were in Japan itself, and it was like formed when the ruler of Japan was supposed to be a young kid who was not yet of age. Then there were a council of five elders appointed to rule over Japan during that time. But at the end, when one of the council members died, there was a difference between the four remaining, and three sided against the other one, and then there was a big war within Japan, and with the...
Sort of irrelevant, though.
That's
sort of like, I mean, we know Oda gets inspired, but he doesn't get inspired to that extent. I mean...
Yeah, I know, and in the Chinese folklore, it's just five elders, the survivors of a huge war, and the destructions of Shaolin Temple, or something like that, and then they started their own dynasty, which I think, like, it's the world government killed whoever was in power during the Void Century, and then took the power of the state. The world government was formed there. I do think that these guys are living longer than they should, using Jewelry Pony's powers. I think there are at least they should have died 2 or 3 times by now. That's what I personally think. And with that experience also comes fighting experience, and I think that if required, these guys can fight, but it's not going to happen. It's going to be like the last thing they ever do is to get on the battle, because one has a sword, but I think it'll be like the last thing they ever decide to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when push comes to shove, they will do it, but only when push comes to shove. Like, at the last straw, like, if people are in Marie Jo's right now and it's being threatened, only then would they fight. Which brings me to my next point, by the way, because Rico Legend says, what role do you think the Gorosei will play in the rest of the story? And I think their role is defending Marijos from Dragon's invasion, inevitable invasion, in my opinion.
See, I think one of their main roles is going to be about the Void's history, though, because from what we've seen of the story, they do know what's happened.
Yeah.
And because I think they're the main reason behind, well, I think they are the reason, not the main reason, why it's outlawed and people can't, go out and read poneglyphs. And I think they're the only ones in the world, with the exception of the Roger's crew,
Okay.
Who know about the Void history.
Okay.
The actual truth.
Some Roger pirates, at least. Like Roger, really, no. I don't know about Shanks and Buggy, that's for sure. But yeah, thing is, they will have a lot of roles. Like when they get emphasized more, we're gonna know more about the the Void Century. We're gonna know more about how the world is formed and what really happened, and hell, even things about the One Piece and things about Raftel. We're gonna know more about that. But as far as combat-wise, I see them opposing Dragon. Like, they're not gonna oppose Luffy, per se, because Luffy doesn't have any, like, unless they want to fucking oppose Luffy, then that's a whole different story. But Luffy has his own goal, and Dragon has his own. Luffy wants to be the Pirate King. Dragon wants to get rid of the world government, and you don't get rid of the world government until you get rid of the Five Elders.
Yeah, and I think that, like, what we have seen them do till now, what have we seen them do till now? We have seen them do damage control. They don't want negativity going on about the world government. They don't want people to find out what happened in the Void Century. So, first of all, with the help of the CPs, they are keeping an eye on everyone in the world, that nobody tries to research about the Void Century, and that nobody tries to find out the true history. Second, their responsibility is to also maintain the balance of the world. They are the leaders of the so-called world government, so they are maintaining the balance around we know that the Shichibukai is considered one of the three balances by the Five Elders itself. So one of their major responsibilities is to also see that the world keeps running the way it is now without major power balance shifts coming, because it happens. I think they have been alive for 2 or 3 eras to see this happening, to see formation of Yonkos and the future Yonkos coming and ruining the power balance and stuff, and they have been trying to always maintain the balance, maintain everything. So I think more than the role of powerful fighters or fighters at all, they are going to be the masterminds of the chess behind the coins. They are the ones moving the coins, and as Sammy said, I think their only battle will be with Dragon, and I don't see anything apart from just tactics from them, really.
Tactics? Bro, what I think is, Giulio Giovanni will put them in in their prime age, and we're gonna see fucking Dragon versus the Five Elders as oh my. If I see that, and because the thing is, by the time Dragon decides to invade, thank you for the whole of the world government. I'm not even going to say Marijos anymore, because when you invade Marijos, that means you've officially invaded the world government's main territory. When he decides to do that, it's going to be in a while, not anytime soon. So they're going to be even older. So the only logical explanation is that they get younger, and with whose help? Giulio Giovanni's help. So they can fight, and why not? Because I don't see the world government being taken out until like the fucking last war, which is going to be after the One Piece is found, which is going to be in a really long time. Maybe also chronologically, because I mean, we saw the difference in age between Roger when he first formed his crew and when he became the Pirate King. It was from teenager to 50s in his age. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if the Gorosei even plan on being relevant by the end of the story, like end of series for One Piece, they're gonna have to kind of reserve their age and like just preserve their fucking vitality, which I don't think is possible without the help of Julia Bonnie. Like it's just not even a question to me, because they already look like one of them actually look. Why is it that they look different in age though? Why is it that one of them, the blonde muscular dude, why is he rocking blonde hair, no wrinkles, while the bald dude is like fucking, he's like Gandhi in terms of wrinkles? Why do they look different in age though?
Maybe one had recently used Bonnie's powers before she escaped or something.
He doesn't look like an elder to me though.
I think we will see answers to this when we see more about Julia Bonnie in general. It's a wait and watch type of situation with anything to do with the five elders, because they're like the will of D. That's a surprise, and even this is going to be a surprise that we'll eventually find out what's going on with them.
But yeah, just to conclude my thoughts, Gorosei are currently as mysterious as it gets. Gorosei do have fighting capabilities. I don't think Oda would put a sword in one hand and scars all over their bodies, and like one of them has a lot of muscles. I don't think he would do that if he didn't have a purpose of showing them fight at some point. And maybe we see them fight sooner rather than later. Maybe something is gonna happen. We don't know. Like we can try to predict the future as much as we can, but at the end of the day, Big Mom shows up in Dressrosa and Sabo shows up in Dressrosa, so it's like just whatever anymore. It's like we don't predict the mind of Oda as much as we do before. Like you put a freaking period there and think about it more than just freaking predict it. In my opinion, I do think it's going to happen later in the future, but the revolutionaries are already taken, like, they're already stepping in. Like, are we going to see a scene with the elders at the end of Dressrosa like we did after Enies Lobby, after Alabasta, and after Marineford, where they just talk about what happens and, like, just mention some cool shit that we didn't know about?
Probably. Yeah.
But maybe.
To see more.
We probably will, considering it's got a Shichibukai involved.
Yeah.
That, it's just Shichibukai, who was a world noble, and
Ex-world noble.
And the fact they've sent, they're probably want to send CP0 there as well, aren't they?
I do think that the CP0 was. Then again, that means Doflamingo has ties with the five elders.
What if he's one of the five elders' son? Who knows? What if the Don Quixote pirate is one of the... Don Quixote family is one of the leading families as of now. Is one of the powers.
We though don't know about the Gorosei being world nobles or not. We don't know. Like, we never got information. Like, they're just their own really high up faction.
But I don't think, like, they are the leaders of the world government, and the world nobles, celestial dragons to be exact, are the generations, the bloodline of the 20 kings that formed the world government. So I think these guys are also nobles, but the highest family of the nobles were elected to lead the world government, something like that.
Don't say the highest fucking family is going to be Don Quixote.
It's possible. Who knows? Maybe
it is possible.
How do you pronounce that?
I'm saying that would be too much for me. Not that it's not plausible. It is possible. It's just that it's going to be too much for me, man.
But it could be, because they all call him Young Master as well. Because there might be just not Young Master, just Master, who's the guy in the world government. The Gorosei.
That's what I think, that, like, compared to Saint Charles and the other celestial dragons we saw, I think these guys are a step even above celestial dragons.
Celestial dragons are just up there with influence, but when it comes to mind and just overall, I discussed this with Divvens before. If the world government and the novels opposed each other, the world government would probably win because they have the military might and nobles are just protected by the world government. So,
I don't see
yeah.
the world government and nobles being two. I even told you back then that I don't see them being two separate things because, first of all, let's get it clear. We are talking about the world nobles as the celestial dragons, right? And celestial dragons are told to be the bloodline of the ruling kingdoms.
Hypothetically speaking, it's never going to happen, but I mean, hypothetically speaking, if the military of the world government and the current celestial dragons opposed each other, then we all know what would happen at that point. Like, I mean, the only reason why people don't attack the world nobles is because if you do, an admiral shows up. So, I mean, if that thing doesn't happen, then people would defy them a lot more often, in my opinion.
I think they would be murdered within a day.
What do you say?
They would be murdered within a day if they lost the Navy support.
Yeah, that's it. Like, they can have all their influence and whatnot, but people are going to be angry and people are going to kill them. Okay, so this was the Krasse discussion. Now we're going to move on to discussions that were chosen by us, who we think are very good discussions that we can speak about for an extended period of time. All right, guys. So the topic that we chose as the topic that we should discuss, despite the likes and whatnot, is Kizaru Sting's topic of discussion, which says the following: what exactly will happen with Doflamingo and Fujitora? As we've seen when they left with Law and Doflamingo, Doflamingo had asked to speak to him. He agreed to listen, and while he is under orders, he stated very clearly that the final decision would be his to make. Is that some kind of indication that despite being there on orders, he might not back Doflamingo in the long run? Also, will we get to see this blind justice of his in the coming chapters? Like, will he decide to just capture the pirates they have and evacuate the civilians, letting Doflamingo be forced to have to deal with the fallback by himself? Okay, I just want to start one thing. I just want to just say one sentence before we even begin this discussion. I would be so fucking disappointed in Oda and Fujitora if Isho just pulls I don't want to oppose the Straw Hats because they helped me and shit like that. I would be so fucking disappointed.
I doubt he's going to do that.
Just, man, I'm having my fears because that is the only way I can see for the Straw Hats to survive.
We talked about this yesterday. The other way is if Akainu orders Fujitora to divert his attention to the revolutionaries.
I'm the one who fucking mentioned that. Shit, totally forgot about that. So yeah, as far as, let me say it in a really direct way. What would happen if Akainu knows about the revolutionaries and kind of just sort of notices a huge threat of them? Like, what if it's not just Sabo, Koala, and foot soldiers, with undercover, spy, aka Hack, the fisherman? What if it's more than just that? Because, I mean, the way Oda did it so far, showing Koala beating random people, Sabo being in the Colosseum, Hack being undercover and whatnot. Like, it's building up to this big thing that the revolutionaries will do in Dressrosa, which we even discussed, me and myself and Takt discussed yesterday, not tomorrow. And, it's basically, Dragon has intel on Dressrosa. Dressrosa is causing wars to happen in the world, and now Dragon wants to end that. So simply put, when the threat is high, I can totally see Akainu saying, the Straw Hats are a huge threat and should be disposed of, but the revolutionaries are top priority now. Fujitora, I order you to oppose the revolutionaries, or something like that. What do you guys think about that so far?
Unless the revolutionaries are planning to do something to the kingdom itself and its hierarchy, I don't think the world government or Akainu is going to get involved with the revolutionaries.
But I do think they will. I mean, they have an undercover spy and 2 commanders, like quote-unquote commanders, present in Dressrosa at the moment. You'd think there would be more, and they would have an actual reason other than just showing up like that.
If they
in the
had a
country that-
reason, I don't think
Oh.
Sabo would. If they had a reason, I don't think Sabo would go into the Colosseum.
I can
No,
totally
so
see.
Sabo might have his own reason for going to the Colosseum.
I mean, I can
You know,
totally see.
apart from the overall revolutionary objective, he might have his own reasons.
Which I'm about to say. I can totally see Sabo rescuing everyone in the underground world, including Hack. Or like just finding out what this underground world is. Like I can totally see Hack saying,
Yeah.
alright, so I'm in this underground world right under the Coliseum. You're gonna have to participate and, somehow show up, and like he's gonna kind of.
But the thing is,
But the thing about that is, if Hack has been turned into a toy, Sabo won't remember all that.
Exactly.
Unless of course their conversation was recorded, in which case, you know, it would be on paper for him to see.
Thing is, would he not remember? Like he would not remember the person, but he would sort of remember like, oh, I had something to do with the underground world or whatever. Who said that even?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think he would remember. He just won't remember the fact that he's working with Hack, will he?
Yeah, that's like. Though the only issue I have with that is the fact that Qin Zhao doesn't even know he has a grandson, but at the same time, like,
Yeah.
he said if I had a grandson, I would make him the Hapo Navy leader, even though he's the leader. Like, he didn't just forget his son, he also forgot the fact that his son is the Hapo Navy leader.
Exactly.
But see,
yeah.
just on that point, that like throws me off a bit, because he actually believes he's the Navy's leader.
Yeah, which is weird.
Which
means that
he obviously isn't, is he?
Yeah.
So, say nothing changes, he goes back to the Navy. Will everyone there just assume, like, he's still the leader as well? It's like, I know it's not on the topic, like, but
yeah, I think they would. They would, because they would also forget the existence of Sai. And if Shinjao goes back to his country, he will be considered the leader because he was the leader before Sai. Sai's existence itself is totally wiped out.
I think we got an explanation from either the toy soldier or somebody about this. I think they said that all aspects of their life are wiped out from existence.
Yeah, like it is common for children to have. It's common for children to be born in houses where there's no husbands. That's one example which the toy soldier took. So the mother itself forgets that. Oh my God, I had this kid with another person. No.
Yeah, maybe like in the middle of the Coliseum. He's gonna wonder, wait, why am I here? Like, what was I supposed to do?
No, I mean, I think what happened is, Hack probably called somebody, and that somebody gave Sabo the orders. So you have this intermediary who gives the orders. The guy, the guy who's the medium between Sabo and Hack. He might forget, but Sabo won't forget the fact that he got orders. So that might be why Sabo.
Yeah, but Hack would have been forgotten from the order. But I don't think he would have forgotten the actual order. But if he has got an order, why is he going for the Mera Mera no Mi? If he needs to investigate the underworld, doesn't he need to lose?
Because in the meanwhile, while investigating the new world, how about I get my dead fucking brother's fruit in the process?
So you think it was a coincidence and that Sabo didn't just come there to win the Mera Mera no Mi?
No.
He might have. I mean,
because
I think he has his own agenda. Honestly, I think Sabo has his own agenda.
Hack was already in the Coliseum, and he was investigating something. There is no way he was just investigating whether the devil fruit was there or not. I have not.
Yeah, I think the even Dagma and the others said that they were investigating weapons route stuff.
Yeah, and Koala being there and randomly attacking just fucking random people. Like I don't even know whether they're pirates, don't care if they're pirates or not, but just her being there and attacking people means that there are more branches to this plan, if you will. There's the Colosseum part, there is the whatever part, there's the palace part, I suppose, and there's, just more things to it. In my opinion, that's what I see. And the major flaw over here is, no, never mind, it's not a flaw. Like I can totally see, who was I supposed to rescue from the underground world again? Was I supposed to rescue someone? oh, nah, not really. I'm just gonna, Aces fruit. I'm gonna get that shit. Like, just, I can totally see this happening. Cause Oda loves to emphasize how people forget, the existence of, whomever and through Sugar's Devil Fruit. And when Sugar gets defeated and knocked out, Sabo will remember Hack and all that.
Well, then
Probably, yeah.
I guess that would be the perfect reason for Fujitora to not get involved between Luffy and Doflamingo is to keep the revolutionaries at bay or something. Yeah, that can fit into the story. Or if, like I said before earlier on some thread on OroJackson, if Akainu speaks to the 5 elders and gets a negative response, and Akainu just tells Fujitora, do whatever you want, and Fujitora doesn't wish to get involved.
That would be bad leadership. That would be bad leadership. Like, do whatever you want, Fujitora.
And no, I don't see Akainu doing that.
What did you say, MDN?
Yeah.
It's just more of a sense of trust that he's got for Fujitora if he turns around to him and says, I'll just, basically do what you think's right. Like, follow your this.
Basically, what you're saying is, he has trust in him, where it's gonna fall in the wrong, position when he decides to let the Straw Hats live, right?
No.
Well, I think it's similar to what Smoker did to Tashigi back in, the Alabaster arc, where he told her to just follow her own sense of justice, at which point she let.
Do you see Akainu saying that, like, ever? Like,
Akainu isn't going to say that. Okay, wait. Do you think Akainu's, ego will allow him to help Doflamingo? No way. He's not going to help a pirate. Do you think Akainu will order one of his top dogs?
No. If he's ordered from Orosei not to oppose Doflamingo, then
yeah. What if he doesn't follow orders? He's not Sengoku who follows orders to words. He's a rebel, and I think he may just tell, oh, there was a transmission problem, and then Mushi died. I couldn't inform him or something like that. What if Sakazuki is just against the idea of helping Doflamingo, and he tells Fujitora, I leave it up to you what you do there, and Fujitora finds out regarding.
That would be ridiculous. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't see Akainu giving the order of, do what you like. I don't see him doing that. He's not that kind of guy.
Like, even he,
do you think if Akainu Smoker has spoken everything about Doflamingo, do you think Akainu is still in support of being sided with Doflamingo? You tell me. Knowing Akainu so well, knowing his absolute justice so well.
What I'm gonna tell you is, Doflamingo is a fucking Shishibukai. The Straw Hats are not. They're pirates with no influence with the world government. They're gonna fucking get opposed, while Doflamingo doesn't get opposed for the time being. The reason for that is, Sakazuki and Fujitora were talking on the Denden Mushi when Doflamingo was next to them. They were talking, and Akainu said, yeah, I don't know about that. Well, I guess he's still a Shishibukai. Let him be. Didn't he say that?
No, he didn't say anything like that. He just said, I have to speak to the 5 elders, let me go.
But did he emphasize on opposing Doflamingo or anything?
He didn't emphasize on anything. He just said that, I am pissed out about this, let me speak with the 5 elders. That's all he said.
Okay. When he gets a better understanding of what's the situation and how Doflamingo got away by being a world noble and all that crap, do you really think he's gonna be like, nah, I'm not gonna help a Shishibukai?
Yes. Because Shichibukai is a pirate. Let me tell you one thing. Do you think Akainu is that kind of...
So any Shichibukai out there, he would not help. If Mihawk was in Dressrosa, he would still not help him, right?
Marines aren't sworn to help Shichibukai.
They're not supposed to help Shichibukai.
In distress.
No, they're not Marines.
They're not supposed to.
Look, I know the relation between Shishibukai and the Marines. If the Marines don't give orders to the Shichibukai, they can do whatever they want. That was emphasized with Kuma in Sabuto Archipelago. I understand that. But what I'm saying is, especially in Doflamingo's case, where it's not just the fact that he's a Shichibukai, it's the fact that he is the owner, not the owner, he's the king of a country allied or associated with the world government. One of the 170 countries. Is that the right number?
Yeah, 180 plus.
Yeah, 180 plus countries. Do you really think he's gonna be all like, all right, so even though he's the king of a country associated with us, even though he's a Shichibukai, he's still a pirate. I don't care. Don't help him.
No,
And
it's not going to be only the fact about the pirate. It's going to be the fact about him running his whole underworld business that comes to light. And I don't think Akainu is going to prioritize two pirates, as you said, who are not related to the world government, who are not a Shichibukai, over Doflamingo. But in this case, Doflamingo is related to the world government. His status as a Shichibukai is the reason why he's able to do all this.
That's presumption. The fact that you think Doflamingo will be exposed, even if it does happen, it's going to happen by the end of this arc. It's not going to happen now or in the next 10 chapters.
What are you saying? Smoker already knows everything. And Smoker is going to tell Akainu.
Everything. Well, all he knows is that Akainu attacked. Aokiji knows more than Smoker. All what Smoker knows is that Doflamingo is a big threat and he needs to be tamed.
Aokiji told, yeah.
Aokiji told Smoker.
Yeah, but...
Or Akainu.
No, he told Smoker and told Smoker to tell Akainu.
Right.
But, cause, we have not yet seen, Akainu speak to Aokiji in the time skip, and, oh shit, when that happened. Anyway,
No, I'm saying that with all the build-up about Doflamingo being...
I don't like that. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I would prefer him...
Yeah, see, you are not liking it personally. I am seeing from an unbiased view. I am seeing from what an actual leader like Akainu would do in such a situation. Who is more of a threat? Is Law and Luffy the threat? No, is somebody abusing their powers, especially a pirate who is a king, who is a Shichibukai?
I think Luffy is more of a threat. Doflamingo is a higher threat at the moment, but Luffy would be prioritized higher than Doflamingo because he is the things he has done opposing the world government is Akainu really.
I don't see Akainu prioritizing Luffy over Doflamingo once if he got a warning from Kuzan, which was passed on to Smoker. He got information about Doflamingo being Joker. I'm sure Akainu would have heard the name Joker come up here and there, and he would have related to, connected the dots.
Like, are the Marines that oblivious to the point where they can't even let a fucking Marine join the underworld as an undercover? Like, they would have their own intel. I'm hoping at least.
But like we saw, Crocodile was stripped out of the Shichibukai position the minute it was found that he was involved with everything. So I think if Akainu wants, he will go against the Five Elders' orders, and if Akainu wants Doflamingo to be taken care of, he will order Fujitora to do so. If Akainu is ordered to help Doflamingo and he doesn't want to, he will order the same to Fujitora, because we know Akainu is someone who doesn't just take orders like Sengoku.
Even the part where Fujitora opposing Doflamingo, that part is going to be at the end of the arc, because I totally don't see Fujitora helping Luffy in his fight with Doflamingo. If Doflamingo does get taken out, it's going to be by Luffy himself and not.
What if it isn't the right time for Luffy to fight Doflamingo? What if it's not the? Let's just presume that Luffy isn't yet at Doffy level, and it still needs a bit of time to build up, and that's the perfect way to end a fight if the Admiral takes care of Doflamingo, or rather, in any way. I don't see that happening. I know there's going to be a final battle, but to solve the problem of...
You said you know there's going to be a final battle, and to be honest, Divvens, I myself know there's going to be a final battle. The way this arc has been built up, if there isn't, like, the fan base of One Piece will be disappointed, and not me, because I don't really see Luffy being at the same level as Doflamingo at the moment. But at the same time, the general fan base will be disappointed, and Oda doesn't want to do that, right?
Yeah. But at the same time, I think we are going to expect something totally unexpected from Fujitora, because if Fujitora goes against the Straw Hats, forget Doflamingo, Luffy isn't even going to step into the palace.
They're screwed,
Exactly.
basically.
Exactly.
If Fujitora goes against them.
There's always Sabo to take Fujitora out the game now, isn't he?
Oh,
I'm not saying
no.
beat him, but I'm just
I don't think he
keep him
can.
occupied.
I don't even think he can occupy him more than minutes.
I don't know, because I'm going by Sabo being a commander level, just from Ace's strength kind of thing, and the commanders in the Marineford arc, they go toe to toe with admirals, didn't he?
I would say he's one of the current weaker commanders, and the main commanders are like.
Come on, Sammy, he's been with the revolutionaries for 12 years under Dragon. I don't think he's one of the weakers. I think he is one of the, second division or third division, the same as Ace, and he can hold his ground against an admiral, but the point being that he is in the Colosseum, he cannot.
Didn't you even disagree about him being a commander to begin with at the beginning?
No, but you're saying that he's one of the weaker commanders, I'm saying.
No, look, we can have our speculations because Sabo wasn't an original, he wasn't an original revolutionary. He joined when the revolutionaries were formed. But what I'm trying to say is, the people who were with Dragon from the beginning, those are the people who will fight fucking
Then
admirals.
that would be Ivankov, who is, I don't see.
Yeah.
You ain't that strong, or she, whatever
Ivankov
it is.
is comic relief to me. I would say Kuma, not Ivankov, because Kuma, my god, is he fucking powerful.
But he's no longer a revolutionary now.
No, I'm saying, because we
Maybe
haven't.
he is. Never mind.
Okay, let's not get into that discussion again, because this is a different discussion. But thing is, we didn't see the revolutionaries with, because we know for a fact that revolutionaries are scattered, the revolutionary commanders are scattered all over the world. And when we saw Kuma and Ivankov, that was just the fact that they were there when Dragon was there. There are strong, I'm 200% sure that there are more powerful commanders out there doing jobs and duties in the world of the One Piece universe. Don't you guys agree with that?
I don't know, because
I can't see the only name strong people being Ivankov and Kuma.
Yeah.
There does have to be a lot more, especially if they're going against the whale government who've got basically four admirals on the side in the shape of Akainu as well.
Yeah, he did say Dragon did say to tell all the commanders to stop doing what they're doing and meet up with me in a meeting, really. And
but I see their strength, the power, the working force. I see it almost equal to the world, to the Marines, not more than the Marines. So if they have commanders, it's like vice admirals and admirals together. The number is between 20 or 25.
So if Sabo can handle Fujitora for, let's say, 3 to 4 to 5 minutes right now, does that mean he can one-shot, two-shot Jesus Burgess?
No, because Jesus Burgess is the same level.
Jesus Burgess should be able to, as I said before, occupy Fujitora. He should be able to keep them occupied for what I do believe Fujitora will win.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think Burgess is ready for admirals because he's been going on at it for 2 years, but I do think he's ready for Sabo. It's just that if Sabo beats Burgess, honestly, that puts him around the level of, really close to the level of Admiral.
Yeah, definitely.
Really close. And is the gap in strength between Luffy and Sabo that fucking huge?
Yeah, because Luffy, Sabo has spent more. It's not only about all strength; it also is experience, and Sabo has years and years of experience, more than Luffy.
Sabo spent his childhood under Dragon.
Yeah,
presumably.
I calculated the time. By the time Luffy began, it was going on for 10 years. And through the time skip, 12 years since he joined the Revolutionaries, which is, I mean, if you're under the world's most wanted man for 12 years, you're bound to be really powerful. But
he would have learned hockey even before he would have learned the alphabets, I think. So that's something.
That's just I don't want to see him as strong as that already. Like how do I say this?
No, that's the difference between brothers. It was always that way. Luffy was the weakest of the trio and of the brothers, and it's going to be.
It has nothing to do with the brothers at the moment. It's just that I don't want to see him as powerful as like I want it to be a threat at end of series. Like I want some combat development with Sabo, even if he's being shown right now. I don't want him to be already Admiral level, which is top tier. That's the thing.
Well, Ace was already considered to hold his ground against admirals. Well, as he was a white bag commander.
Then he got two-shotted by a kind.
But that was different. He was protecting Luffy.
No, before that, when he punched him and they're like, my hands got burned. I'm gonna get fucking scattered away and fly by Akaino's massive magma fist. I'm teasing Ace fans now, but that did happen.
That's agreed. But I still see Sabo being, if Sabo is as strong as to hold his ground against an admiral, I wouldn't see that as a bad thing. I would just see that as a good thing that the revolutionaries have equal force against, because I see revolutionaries being even smaller than the world government, than the Navy force, but they are like the Straw Hats, small yet powerful. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, it's just, it's not really about the story. It's personal preference. I want to see some combat development with Sabo in the next 10 years of the manga. And if he's already Admiral level, then it's going to be minimal to none, really. But yeah, I do agree with the whole point. Like, just the fact that Jesus Burgess is in the Colosseum brings two questions. Is he going to oppose, like, wouldn't Fujitora do something about a Yonko's first fleet captain?
That wasn't his objective.
That wasn't his directive, yeah.
But that's
has it got to him yet, though, that he's there?
He's seen it because he was in
the Colosseum.
Oh, was he? Yeah. Oh,
guys,
yeah.
Don't forget, right? Don't worry about that, but don't forget, Kizaru's main objective was to take out the Straw Hats in Sabaody Archipelago. What did he do? He took out basically all fucking supernovas just because they were there.
No, not just because he was there. Because he couldn't connect to Sentomaru, and the minute he connected to Sentomaru, you remember, Basil Hawkins was about to die when Sentomaru's call came, and he was like, "Where are you, uncle? Come back here." And then Kizaru was like, "Okay, I gotta go, bye-bye."
That's true, but at the same time, like, when you're there and there's a fucking Yonko first captain, first fleet commander there, like, oh, I can't really do anything about you because I have to take care of this first. Like,
yeah, that's how an organization works. If I tell you just take an example, you are a staff of OroJackson. If I tell you keep an eye on these two, and that's all you do, because that is your duty, even if you spot something different, you are going to tell, okay, Div told me to take care of this, I will take care of this, and I'll let somebody else handle that.
That's true. Yeah, I agree with that. It's just that, I mean, I kind of wanted to see Jesus Burgess against Fujitora a little bit.
Yeah, that's just the fanboy inside.
Fanboy desire.
Dude,
for Fujitora, the higher priority is the fact that Shichibukai has defected, and the fact that Law has defected. So that's obviously a higher priority than a Yonko commander who's just hanging around the place. That's how I would see it.
I've not gotten on really much more to add to be honest. I mean, you've basically covered everything that I was thinking.
Well, true, but at the same time, like, we do want to hear your take on, like, what do you think about Fujitora when it comes to,
Fujitora!
How do I say this? Just, what his next move is, in accordance to what Akainu says and what the revolutionaries do.
See, I'm still confused, not confused, we just don't know what the revolutionaries are doing there. So, I don't know if you'll be able to basically interact with them in any way. But I think, regardless of what Akihinu says, I do believe he will follow his own sense of justice, because that's the way I expect all admirals to basically go.
Even if to oppose the orders of a fleet admiral?
I think so.
Yeah, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he will set out to do the job, but while he's doing it, he will be following his own sense of justice. Like, when, even though Kizar, whose job was to, take out the Straw Rats, he still played around with it in the end, even though it took to, like, it
took Kuma to make them disappear and really to stop him, for them to survive.
He was basically playing around with Zorro, weren't he? And if he weren't playing around with Zorro, he would have just killed him, because he was playing around. Silver's Rayleigh came in and then basically fought with him until Kumar appeared. And I think it will be a similar thing where he won't touch if he doesn't touch the Straw Hat, it will be because of his own sense of justice. But going back to the comments
and I think, no, wait, Sam. What he has to say is true, because if you remember, back then the fleet admiral was Kong when they went to O'Hara, and Akainu was a vice admiral.
Oh, I thought you were going to mention Garp doing his own thing, and opposing.
Not Garp. I was saying Akainu was like, there was a ship of survivors who were confirmed to not be, researchers and stuff, and he used his own sense of justice to blow it all up, even though the order by his commanding officers was to evacuate that ship. So I think somewhere down the line, each Marine has their own sense of justice, and even if they receive an order, to some level they'll follow it, but to some level they won't.
Yeah, true. It's just that I don't want to see Fujitora's sense of justice preventing him from capturing the Straw Hats. I want it to be something else.
The thing about Fujitora is that by his own admission he's inexperienced. So I think he's not at the stage of his Marine career where he will follow his own sense of justice, because he's not, like he said, he's not experienced. I think he's at the stage where he's going to take his orders and run with them. That's what I think about Fujitora.
Then I don't think he would attack even Doflamingo. He would just attack only Law and get with it. But he also attacked.
He also did state that he'll make his own decision based on.
On what? Someone please fucking explain.
On the talk
of what Fujitora and Doflamingo.
I know the talk, but I mean, on what about the talk? What are they talking about?
What if it's just about Fujitora saying, I have heard this and this, Smoker has reported this and this to Akainu, we want to confirm this and this, explain yourself, something like that? Or
maybe it's that, but then Doflamingo also said that he wants to put the Straw Hats on a platter for Fujitora, and maybe they're going to discuss that too.
It's just that like the Straw Hats were in front of Fujitora, yet he decides to talk to Doflamingo first. That took me out,
because he already had.
I hope next chapter.
He already had his first priority, which was the defected Chichibukai. Once he got his first priority, he wanted to take stock of the situation and then take his next step.
What did you want to say, Divvens, by the way?
That we may see in the next chapter or two of what exactly Doflamingo and Fujitora are speaking, because I don't see their talk not coming to a conclusion before Luffy reaches the palace, and Luffy should already be near the palace considering that the Colosseum and the palace are so close.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah.
I see the next two chapters focusing on Frankie and Cindy.
I don't think this fight is going to conclude anytime soon, and I don't think it's going to be longer than 3 chapters.
At least the start of the fight.
We already had a glimpse of it. I mean, the way Oda does things is he just shows a glimpse of a fight, does like a million other things, and then goes back to the.
Yeah.
I just want to see Frankie. I just want to see Frankie.
His fight is going to be really awesome, especially since it's going to be Frankie himself and not Frankie Shogun.
So to come to a conclusion of what Kizaru's team wanted us to discuss is that we are all just speculating on what Fujitora is doing, but if we are to see it that he's bound by honor, then he's going to, in some or the other way, help Doflamingo. If he's bound by orders, then he's some or the other way going to follow whatever Akainu says him to. And if he's just given a free sense of justice, God knows what he's going to do.
So yeah, to conclude my personal thoughts, what me and Takt came up with yesterday, as far as Fujitora focusing on the revolutionaries and having them as top priority for what they would possibly do in this arc, which, in my opinion, if they show up this much and they are currently in the middle of a very corrupt country, you would think that they would try to liberate it really soon. So, all of this going on, I really think, I hope and think, logically speaking, Fujitora opposing the revolutionaries at the moment, him being there, will give Luffy some space to fight someone like Doflamingo, who even at this point we're debating on whether the fight is going to go as we think, and Luffy defeats him or not, because like that in of itself is a really huge struggle. So he has to have some free space from Fujitora, and how does he do that? By being preoccupied with the revolutionaries. That's my take on it. And I do want to address one more thing, because Aristing mentioned it. He was talking about, also, will we get to see this blind justice of his in the coming chapters? Yes, we will. To what extent? We don't know. But we will. And
yeah, even I agree that we will, because we don't even know what his blind justice is all about. So, we'll certainly be seeing.
We can have all our hints that we can speculate on, but until we actually see his in-depth blind justice, we don't really know, but Oda will definitely show it to us in this arc. And the thing is, you also say what exactly will happen to Doflamingo and Fujitora. I personally think Doflamingo will be irrelevant in accordance to Fujitora, because he will be preoccupied by the revolutionaries. I hope so, at least. And at the end of the arc, though, when Doflamingo is defeated, all the toys, this is all presumption. We don't even know if it's going to turn out the way we think it's going to turn out. If Doflamingo gets defeated, the toy factory gets destroyed, and everyone goes back to their human form and whatnot, I can totally see Fujitora capturing Doflamingo or something. Or maybe Doflamingo escaping, because I think Doflamingo has a bigger role. He has King's Haki as well as wanting to be, the Pirate King. That kind of, these two things make me think he has a bigger role than just this arc. He's not going to be an arc-based antagonist. He has been hyped up so much since the beginning of One Piece. This is not just his arc. He's going to have more to go, in my opinion. So that's the Fujitora and Doflamingo part, and that really concludes my thought of this discussion. And Divvens has already concluded his. What about you, Takt?
It's pretty much the same as yours. I think we talked about the possibility that Fujitora would be occupied by the revolutionaries, and I think that's a really good route to take. Mm-hmm. Apart from that, I think Doflamingo will encounter Kaido at some point after this arc. Even if he runs away from Fujitora, I think he'll run into Kaido. I'm pretty sure of that.
Like the Kaido?
Kaido or one of his subordinates.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, MDN?
I honestly think that what defines what Fujitora does in this chapter will go back to, as I said before, is justice. Mm-hmm. But even when we go by its name, blind justice, it itself could imply that he might just turn a blind eye, literally, to orders that he's being given, which is basically, to take out the Straw Hats as well as law. I mean, he could right now just have his sole objective as taking the ex-Shichibukai now, isn't it? Back to headquarters, basically. I do think, well, I'm hoping so, that the revolutionaries do play a massive role in this arc as well, which, as you said before, could also occupy him.
And that's it for our discussions. We had a lot of really awesome discussions that we wanted to discuss, but 4 was indeed our maximum when it comes to time and just length, really. So I hope you enjoyed the discussions. I know I did, and I learned a thing or two about them as well. So Drake, please show up. Kuma, please, do something quickly. Gorosei, I want to see you fight, and Doflamingo, Fujitora, Law, Revolutionaries, Straw Hats, just do your thing. Don't disappoint me.
Don't forget Gecko Moria.
Who the fuck cares?
Okay, let's not forget Gecko Moria for some reason. And yeah, we're now gonna move on to the Q&A section, and good God, the Q&A section.
Alright, so you guys know that we usually have One Piece related questions and whatnot, but this week is a special week. We had special discussions and special content in general, and that is no different than the questions. We are going to do the same thing with the questions and even more. A lot of them are personal questions, random questions, troll questions, manga questions, and we're going to answer all of them without any exception. So we're going to start with the first submitted questions by Riley Escobar. He asks, in the year 2013, which mangas/manhwas have stood out for you in a matter of perspectives? And so plot-wise, death-wise, villain, etc. Please don't spoil, by the way, guys. Just, try to not spoil any deaths and whatnot. And he also asks, same question as Evolve, but anime-related instead of manga. So who wants to begin first with this one? Anyone excited to talk about some awesome manga there this year?
For me, above all, like manga all else, Toriko was by far one of the best arcs I've ever seen in my life in general. And the fights, that there was like about 4 different fights in it that were just such high level. And you learned so much about the world of Toriko that it put it above like even an outstanding year by One Piece's own standards. And that's how good I thought Toriko was, like, this year. Probably with the animes, I very rarely watch anime anymore. Because, like, I've moved on to manga on the series I watch. But out of all the anime, the only anime I do watch is Kuroko no Basket. So it would have to just be that. Just because it's the only one.
Alright, I'm just gonna move forward with mine. Fuck you for going first, because I was gonna say the same as you. Alright, so for this year, 2013, when it comes to manga, you'd think that I would say One Piece because it's Dressrosa and it's amazing, but no, it was Toriko by leaps and bounds, also. The beginning of this arc until the conclusion, I have never been so fucking just, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just a really huge, massive roller coaster of a ride with Toriko. In terms of fighting, it had the best fight in shonen manga for me. One of the 4 fights, but by the way, all of them were. I didn't even believe I was reading Toriko. It was just something else, and the fights went like the arc before this arc, and this arc made the manga a lot higher than usual in terms of fighting and everything. So yeah, one of the fights. I don't want to say names, but one of the fights currently is my favorite fight in shonen battle manga. The plot of this, arc was fucking phenomenal. Like, shit, I'm having the same problem as Riven now. I can't say the word. But yeah, as I was saying, the plot twists in this arc, we're talking about 10 plus plot twists in one arc. And you'd think that would be a little bit too much, to the point where plot twists would not longer be plot twists, and it would be just boring. Not the case with this arc. It's really not the case with this manga. Every plot twist made me go. It just made my head spin 360 degrees every time. And one of them is my favorite plot twist in shonen. I know I sound biased, but I'm not. I'm honestly being like really critical at the moment in terms of writing. One of the plot twists in Toriko manga, actually the last plot twist at the end of the arc, is currently my favorite plot twist in any manga I've read. Shonen-wise, seinen-wise, it goes to Berserk, but we're talking this year. But yeah, deaths, there were some, and one of them just until this minute makes me fucking shiver in terms of how it happened.
and antagonists, Tamirod, Starjin, Grimpatch, Joa, Midora, all these names. Toriko antagonists are as great as it gets to me, and talk too much about Toriko, sorry. And yeah, this is my favorite, manga of the year, arc-wise and year-wise. And as far as anime, as MDN said, I don't watch too much anime. I do actually, but at the same time, not in a yearly basis like I do with manga. Like I read them ongoingly and whatnot. But if I had to choose one, can't really choose Kuroko no Basket because, the second season has been going for way shorter than a year. I would say, Hunter x Hunter. Currently the Chimera Ant arc is, it rivals the Cooking Festival arc, the last arc in Toriko. It rivals Marineford. It rivals Wood Archipelago. It rivals these kind of arcs. It's up there, in terms of quality and writing and quality and everything. So yeah, that's it for me. What about you, Divs?
I just want to say that before we started the Q&A, someone was telling me to keep my answers short so they can shove their opinions where the sun don't shine. And I was kind of expecting Sammy to... Okay, wait, let me start with the manga first. For me, the manga that stands out in the year 2013 will be... Wait, is it the manga? Yeah, okay, it's a manga. Is Sunken Rock. If you guys haven't read it, you should totally read it. I think it's one of my favorite, and it can be possibly one of the best mafia-themed mangas to read out there. The author has done quite a lot of research into it, and the subtle messages that you get from the manga also are epic, including stuff about how you handle racism, how you handle the bad stuff about the history of your own country. It's quite detailed. There are a couple of chapters which makes you go, WTF. There was one chapter after this epic arc which was borderline hentai, but it's just a couple of chapters that go like that.
It's a seinen. It's a seinen.
It's a seinen. So that's one warning for you guys who don't like too much gore or stuff in your reading experience. So Sunken Rock would be one of the mangas that stands out for me. And with anime, I would say I was expecting Sammy maybe to say Space Brothers, but I will say Space Brothers as an anime stood out to me for the same reasons. If I would be reading Space Brothers manga, my anime and manga both would be Space Brothers. That's how much Space Brothers has developed a liking. I have developed a liking for it. It's not only because many people think that the anime has a bug and that's why I like it. It's not because of that. And I would like to say that the author of the Space Brothers manga has done a lot of research into it, the same as Sunken. The things that are shown in the anime and manga are actually supposed to be available to use in the timeline in which the anime is set. The spacesuits that the astronauts wear are supposed to be developed by NASA in 2020, and this anime and manga series is based on the timeline between 2020 and 2023, 2024. So the amount of research that the author has done, the amount of detail he puts in, and the animation is just lovely, and some moments make you go, it makes you emotional, it makes you happy, it has the twists and turns here, and if you haven't watched Space Brothers as well, I would suggest you to go and watch Space Brothers.
Yeah, I would just like to address what Divvens said in both Sunken Rock and Space Brothers. I just want to say to you guys, as far as Sunken Rock is concerned, guys, it's there's a difference between shonen and seinen. Whenever there's a manga called categorized as seinen, expect to see some nudity, expect to see some gore, expect to see all of that. But usually seinen writing is better than shonen writing because they have less limits. So yeah, just wanted to address that because any manga that has the word seinen in it, expect these kind of things. Just a heads up to you guys. And as far as Space Brothers, Divvens, it's probably my favorite ongoing anime at the moment, more than Hunter x Hunter. But the thing is, the arc of this year, the transitioning arc between the last arc and this arc, hasn't been too much, like, too impactful for me. But right now, the anime, by the way, I'm sort of caught up, so I don't want to spoil anything. But, it was too short, for me to judge it, per the year of 2013. That's why I kind of, chose, Hunter x Hunter above it. Just want to say that.
I get your point.
But you guys should go watch fucking Space Brothers, definitely. Alright, Takt.
Wait. Yeah, Takt. Yeah, exactly. I thought you were going to skip over him.
No, I wouldn't. Anyway, alright, Takt. Let us hear your, opinion on this, question.
My manga picks for 2013 would be The Seven Deadly Sins, or Nanatsu no Taizai, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I just thought this was a nice breath of fresh air, and this year the plot progression has been fantastic. I mean, yeah, I can't tell you much about the plot because I would want people to read it, but it's a really great manga with a really unique art style as well. And I love it, this year. And another one that stood out was Shokugeki no Soma. Again, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. This one, it's a cooking manga. I don't know. I just love it. I love it so much. There was a chapter that came out this year that was so fantastic that I thought it was actually better than the One Piece chapter that came the same week. And that One Piece chapter was no slouch either. So.
What was it? What chapter was it?
I'm not sure right now. I knew a bit. I should check and come back to you on that. But basically, it was too good. Shokugeki no Soma. I would recommend that too. And anime, I don't watch anime. I really don't. I only watch Gintama now and then. And this year actually that's not quite true. I did watch Attack on Titan this year. In 2013. And that did stand out for reasons that have been put on the internet again and again. So I don't need to talk about them much. Honestly, it's been hyped up too much, and I didn't think it was that good. I didn't think it was absolutely mind blowing, although I did like it. So Attack on Titan for me stands out.
I would like to ask a question, Takt, because my friend, who is not caught up with Seven Deadly Sins, told me this, but he told me it gives me a fairy tale vibe in terms of characters and whatnot. Is that really the case?
The story is not as bad as fairy tale, but I can see why he would say that the characters have a fairy tale vibe, because you have these like aloof and yet powerful characters in there. So I think that's where the fairy tale vibe comes from.
I guess. Well, I am reading it, and I'm gonna get caught up to it really soon. And that doesn't mean I've been reading it as intensely as I want to, but I am enjoying it. Alright, so the next question is submitted by Ace is Awesome. He asks, the question is specifically to Divvens, but he's gonna answer it, and then we're gonna also give our take on it, just for the sake of the viewers. His first question is, what is your new favorite anime / manga of 2013? And his second question is, are there anything you're looking forward to in 2014? Div, you take it from here.
Since it's new favorite anime and manga into 2013, so I'm guessing you asked like the animes and mangas that began in 2013. So I'm going to answer only the manga part because I haven't picked up any anime series that began in 2013. So my favorite manga would be Arslan Senki. That's how it's pronounced. I don't know. Arslan Senki. It's by the mangaka of Full Metal Alchemist. And if you have read that series, you should totally also start reading the series. It's a monthly serialization. It's based on a novel, and it's her own take on what happened then. And it has a total of 5 chapters till now, but it's been really, really good. I won't say much more about it. I would just say it's 5 chapters. You can give that a go if you haven't. The first chapter itself will captivate your attention. And as to anything I'm looking forward in 2014, I am not much of a person who thinks about the future. I just think about the present, and I keep going like today. It's a day-to-day basis of what I do. But if I'm looking forward to anything in 2014, is there's something me and Freeze, his real name Luke. I'll mention him as Luke. Me and Luke are planning a lot of things for our personal life, and yeah, it has a connection to OJ, so you may hear about it if it does take place in 2014. And I have a lot of hopes, and I'm expecting OroJackson as well to grow in 2014. It has already grown leaps and bounds in 2013, so let's look. I have that to look forward to. I just want me and Luke both want OroJackson to be the Pirate King in the One Piece fandom, so let's hope we get closer to that. I'm just hoping to get closer to that.
Well, if I were to say anything, you're in the right track, bro. So, yeah. Let me answer the question now. What is your new favorite anime / manga of 2013? As far as manga is concerned, if by new you mean a manga that I've read in 2013, then it's easily, by leaps and bounds of everything else in the world, Kingdom. That manga is out of this world. I don't know how he does it, but the writer is just a genius. So, yeah, it's Kingdom. But if it's like a new manga that was out in 2013, then it's gonna be Ajin, which I read actually a week ago. I really like the first 9 chapters of it. I really, really enjoy the main protagonist. He reminds me of a friend of mine, except he's not an Ajin. You're not gonna get that unless you read the manga.
I totally get that because I read the manga.
Anyway, I really recommend it. I also recommend Kingdom more than anything in the world now, including Toriko. Kingdom, Toriko, and Ajin. You have to fucking read them if you're a manga fan. But yeah, these are as far as my new favorite anime / manga. Ajin being the newest, and Kingdom being the one I read in 2013. As far as if I'm looking forward to anything in 2014, it's really just doing good in college. That's a really simple answer, but I didn't do as good as I wanted to do in 2013, and I got disappointed in myself. And I want 2014 to be the beginning of a more serious me when it comes to just dedication into college. So yeah, that's about it. What about you, MDN?
For me, probably my most favourite new manga that started this year is, as Takt said before, Shoujoku no Soma. Because when he was describing, I knew what he was saying, like, because although as you know, with Toriko it's about food, but it's a very action-packed series, but this manga is just about food and cooking the food, but how they do it's brilliant and it keeps you involved, and I would recommend it to anyone who wants a new, basically, light-hearted manga to follow, and they do it so well, and it is like, it's a bit later than the other series, and I find myself looking forward to it, like, after I've read One Piece and Toriko, that's the next series that's on my list. But as far as looking forward to anything in 2014, I don't know, I mean, at the minute, 2014, my mind's just on football at the minute. And it's probably just to see how good Everton do for the rest of the football season. But yeah, that's as far as my future goes. It's just football.
I don't know why that makes me laugh. It's just all right, Takt, you take it from here, bro. Wait, before you take it from here.
Yeah.
Shokugeki-no-sama. I guess I'm gonna read it if you guys both of you really commend it.
Shokugeki-no-Soma, yeah.
Yep. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna put it in my queue. So, yeah. All right. Go for it, Takt.
it's sort of like MDN just stole my answers because they're exactly the same almost. My favorite.
Soulmates!
Well, my favorite manga of 2013 is Shokugeki no Soma because, like I said, it's fantastic. I mean, apart from what MDN said, the thing that just strikes you is the artwork. The artwork is just, wow, it's awesome. It's really good. It's really clean and it's really detailed at the same time, which is a tough balance. And especially the way he draws food. Oh my, it's fantastic. Really good.
Not Seven Deadly Sins. So it's not Seven Deadly Sins. It's Shogeki no Sama.
Yeah, the reason I say Shokugeki is because I think Seven Deadly Sins has been going on quite a bit in 2012, and then it went into 2013.
Oh, my bad.
Whereas Shokugeki was like only 1 month in 2012, and then the rest of it in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I'm looking forward to 2014, I'm looking forward to the World Cup. The World Cup, and of course the end of this Premier League season in football. And apart from that, I'm looking forward to finishing college. That's about it.
Okay, so the third question is from Froze.
Frosh.
The cat from Fairytale. That's the cat from Fairytale asks, what are your future plans to develop the OJ community since the population is really growing? And how can you see OJ 5 years from now? To be honest, I mean, no one should start this other than the captain himself to take a breath.
What are my future plans to develop the OJ community? Well, we don't have a roadmap as such. We aren't a professional company that is planning like 10 years. If I was starting a professional company, which I am with Luke, we do have a roadmap. We see where we are in 1 year, we see where we are in 2 years, we see where we are in 5 years, we see where we are in 10 years. With OroJackson, we have a basic vision where we see ourselves in a few months, where we are we see ourselves in a monthly basis. Like this month itself, we have grown more than the previous months. And as more and more users visit OroJackson, each and everyone has their own likes, their own dislikes, their own what they want to see in an ideal community for themselves. And as and when we keep growing, we keep adding features. And I just recently have made several posts, detailing our future updates, which are coming within the next couple of months, including one of the most fan favorites is going to be the rank changes. See, that's something which we didn't plan when we launched OroJackson. We were like, okay, let's stop it at 10,000 points because that's where people are going to be in a couple of years. And that's what has happened. People are at the final rank in a couple of years. So now we improvise and think about a couple of more years. And so that's what the development is. It's constant. It's never planned. It's just constant as and when people ask. If it's feasible and if it's good for the whole community, it's added. And how can I see OJ 5 years from now? At the rate it's growing, I see it getting really, really huge. And possibly me and Luke will end up spending like $600 or $700 a year. We don't mind that. Of course, as long as people enjoy on OJ and they keep supporting us. But yeah, I see if at the current growth rate, we currently get like 1,000 unique views every day. In 5 years, I expect it, if we just be realistic, I would expect 5,000 unique views per day. But the OJ growth has been more, so I see OJ being totally somewhere else 5 years down the line, and I see us having the current stuff being 5, being 20, 25, and members being in, I don't know, in triple digits. Let's see.
So, as far as what Froze asks, I don't really have an answer for the first bullet point, first question, but I do plan on helping out OJ in any kind of way I can. As far as developing it, I don't have the capability of doing so, but as far as, just making it supporting it, then I can do that. And as far as OJ in 5 years, I mean, within a year, since 2012, since I joined in 2012 until now, it has grown significantly, and I see the rate of growth increasing even more throughout the years, to the point where in 5 years it's undoubtedly going to be the most popular One Piece forum, excluding maybe one forum that I don't want to mention forum names other than OJ right now, but what I'm trying to say is it's going to be one of the most popular, if not the most popular, considering how it's kind of designed and how it's being taken care of compared to other forums, in my opinion. So yeah, what do you think, Takt?
OJ 5 years from now, honestly, I can't even begin to speculate where it will be 5 years from now. I think it will keep growing, and I think it will keep growing into one of the most popular One Piece forums. I really think we have the capability to do that. And yeah, I think that's where I see OJ 5 years from now.
Okay, MDN?
5 years from now, OJ, I mean, I've been in 4 different forums, and OJ is by far the best forum, being in the most easiest to use, and it's got the best community. And recently I've been noticing there's an increased number of people joining as well. So I think if it carries on the way it's going, in 5 years it could be like one of the biggest One Piece forums, if not the biggest. So yeah, OJ for number 1.
And also the fact that the Doflamingo theme will be the best theme in forums, period. So
and
that
he's
will,
coughing there.
the thing is, Takt, you have not seen what I've seen, bro. Just anyway.
And I don't think I will see it, but anyway, that's something else.
You'll see it. Don't worry. Anyway, let's move on to the 4th question, which is
practically 5 questions within itself.
It was 8, and I had to edit some of them out. Sengoku, you need to chill, bro. But yeah, Sengoku submits a series of questions where we're gonna fucking summarize as hell, cause this probably is gonna take longer than the podcast if we answer them all in detail. So he asks, any special moments you remember in 2013? Funniest anime moment you saw in 2013? The best episode from any anime that you watched in 2013? What is life? Show you are hyped up for the most in the future. Favorite movie of 2013. So that's 6 questions, so to speak. And I'll put Divvens on the spot and go.
Well, okay. Special moments you remember in 2013. Sengoku, that would be your moment itself when you approached to help OJ grow via Facebook, via the pages you admin. So feel proud. Funniest anime moment in 2013. I frankly don't know. I'm just going to skip. The best episode from any anime that you ever watched in 2013. It would be, was it in 2013? I don't know. Yeah. Look, I just watched 2 animes. That is One Piece and Space Brothers. I picked up Attack on Titan, but I'm only on 5th episode because I watched with my sister. So, yeah, I skipped this as well. What is life? I ask you, what is love? And no, don't answer with baby, don't hurt me. The 5th question, show you are hyped for the most in the future. Takt is pushing me to watch, what is that called? Top Gear? So I guess Top Gear, but the show I'm most hyped for as well is 4th season of Game of Thrones. Bring it.
Oh my god. My answer. Why did you take it?
The favorite movie of 2013? It was some magician movie. I forgot the movie's name. No, I forgot.
Now you see me, isn't it?
Yeah, now you see me. Yeah, that.
Favorite movie and you forgot.
Some magician movie. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go for that. Any special moments you remember in 2013? In real life, just going to the US and being here, cause it's the biggest change in my life, so far.
funniest anime moment you saw in 2013. Why would you freaking focus on anime, bro? Why couldn't you say manga? In terms of anime, funniest moments, shit, something from Space Brother.
We should keep this in.
Yeah, it'll be in.
I have lost the ability to speak. Sorry, guys. Something from Space Brothers. Just Space Brothers is my favorite, funniest anime moment in 2013. Sorry, that's my best answer so far. The best episodes from any anime that I watched in 2013, would probably be the latest, the latest Hunter x Hunter anime episode is in 2014, so I can't really say. Okay, so the best episode I've watched in 2013 is going to be one specific episode from Space Brothers that I watched yesterday. I can't really talk about because if I do, it's going to be a spoiler. So let's move on. It's from Space Brothers as well. What is life? 24. Show you're hyped up for the most in the future. Game of Thrones season 4. What else? Because Divvens already fucking answered that. Game of Thrones season 4. I have nothing else on my mind. Favorite movie of 2013. I don't watch movies that often. I don't know. If I had to choose though. A movie in 2013. Can you guys list like names of movies?
Film Z. Just say Film Z.
One Piece, Film Z. All right. Takt. Go.
Any special moments I remember? I went to Milwaukee to visit my uncle. That was a special moment in itself. Anyway, funniest anime moment you saw in 2013. This is a really strange choice, but when Frankie started singing the Iron Pirate song, I just burst out laughing. It was fantastic. Anyway, best episode from any anime you watched in 2013. I watched Gintama in 2013, and there was this episode called the Nintendo Ove episode.
Shit!
Which was awesome. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen, ever. Seriously. What is life? 42.
Dude, go for 24. Be a rebel.
42. I'm reading Douglas Adams right now. I'm in the 42 mood.
Fine, go.
And show you're hyped up the most in the future. Top Gear. The latest season starting in January 26th. Really hyped up for that. Favorite movie of 2013, Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug.
Still haven't watched it, sorry. Alright. MDM, go.
Right. Special moment. I got promoted in work, so probably that, but that's just because I had an uneventful year. Funniest anime moment in 2013 and best episode of an anime, both the same. It's, I think it's the first or second episode of the new season of Kuroko no Basket, where they're speaking English. And even though it's a really serious moment, just hearing them talking English, it just like, it had me in tears. I thought it was brilliant. What is life? Life's a word. Show I'm hyped up for in the future. I would have to say Top Gear as well. I'm a fan of Top Gear. Our favourite movie was Avengers 2013?
No, it's 2012.
Was it? I'd have to go for Now You See Me as well then.
Alright. So that was that.
I just want to say, those both are soulmates. I mean, really. MTN and Takt? Seriously. It was first the football and what was it? The same anime, same manga and football, and now the same answers here.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
Well, he said Now You See Me though.
To all these shippers, you have MDN X Takt now.
Did you watch Desolation of Smog?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
Yeah, you're probably gonna have it as your favorite if you've watched it. So would I, to be honest, but yeah. Until then.
Oh, you definitely need to watch it. Like.
Yeah, of course, I know. It's just I'm waiting for it on Blu-ray and stuff. Alright, so Vion Grang, asks, what would happen if, Divvens suddenly turned into a girl, and what reaction would different people from OJ have regarding this scandal?
What were you smoking?
He also asked, how would you react if manhwa/anime didn't exist from tomorrow onwards? Firstly, back to the first question. You need to like kind of PM me with the name of weed you smoke, bro, cause
He's into it as well.
Yeah, Divvens, how would you react if you turned into a girl?
How would I react if I turn into a girl? Well,
First thing I would do is touch my boobs.
that's what all guys would do, and that's what I would do as well.
Okay, so I would, my answer would be to fantasize over, Divvens' boobs.
Wow. Do all OJ girls keep away from Sammy? Because he fantasizes.
Alright, so, what about the second question, Div?
How would you react if manga? I would be sad because OJ would cease to exist. So that isn't a funny. You are a paradox. The first question is funny. The second question is serious. And what the fuck are you doing? that's mine.
Alright, so, what would happen if Divvens suddenly turned into a girl, and what reaction would different people from OJ have regarding this scandal? So, every man would do the opposite, do the obvious. Every woman would,
Get jealous.
I don't know, get jealous from the D cup he has, I guess.
What the fuck? What the fuck is going on?
And the second, I can't do this. Oh, I need to be somewhere soon. How would you react if manhwa, anime didn't exist, if manga and anime didn't exist from tomorrow onwards? I would say fuck you, young rank, for saying that, firstly. And secondly, I wonder how many people would commit suicide. I wouldn't, but I wonder how many people would commit suicide. Because, I mean, there was this one guy who committed suicide over a character's death in Naruto. So,
Really? I had.
Must have been
It was about 7 years after it happened in the manga as well, somewhere.
it was retarded, like he just saw it in the anime or something, and then he's like, alright, so I'm just gonna end my life now, cause...
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, people would actually suicide, the young guy, I'm not even kidding. They would commit suicide, a lot of them as well. But I would just be depressed for the rest of my life, but not commit suicide. Yep, and OJ would cease to exist, which is, well, what is with your quit? Like, the first question made us laugh so hard, and the second question made us so depressed. Talking about committing suicide and depression, like...
Sorry, I'm still on the high from the first question. I don't even care about the second question.
Oh god, alright, speaking of Takt, since you really loved the first question, go at it, bro.
Oh my god. How am I going to react to this? I would start laughing and I wouldn't stop laughing. Just go on and on. Oh, I don't even know, honestly.
You can just admit it.
What?
Then what?
Oh my god.
Alright, move on to the next question, bro.
How would you react if manga, etc. didn't exist from tomorrow onwards? I don't know. Nuclear bombs or something. Just destroy a few places. Yeah, that's what I would do.
I think if Divs turned into a girl, he'd have a lot more male followers on OJ. As well as quite a few people giving the hope that, you know, Ivankov might be a real person, considering the sudden change. But,
Oh shit.
That's a good one!
That is a good one indeed.
But I don't know how everyone would act, but I think that's how the men of OJ would act. And how would I react if manga didn't exist? I'd probably just go back to being a hardcore gamer, because that's what I was before I found manga. So I don't think that won't affect me as much as the rest.
That is actually what would happen to me as well, because I was a hardcore gamer until I got into anime as much as I did. But at the same time, I would be depressed, because I want to
I would be depressed, but I think I'd eventually get over it.
Yeah, man. Alright.
Those shit out,
Let's
yeah.
move on to the next question. Lady Mary Killigrew asks, hope I pronounced your name right. Perona uses negative hollow. If you could be born again, who would you want to be and why? Hey, Dan, go for it.
Does it have to be like negative in the way that, you know, Perona makes you negative?
Yeah, because it's a negative hollow.
Yeah,
So
I'd probably be transformed. Want to be reborn again as Plankton of SpongeBob. Because
Right.
to me, that's the worst existence ever.
I would want to be born as a cheesecake, courtesy of Gintama's author. So if you got that joke, bravo. If you did not, then you need to watch Gintama or read it.
Oh, you
but
definitely
probably
need to
watch
watch
it.
it though.
So yeah. What about you, Divs?
This would be a woman.
Now take this as a joke. I would be reborn as you.
Which one of us?
I would be reborn as Mary Killigrew. I don't have.
That's exactly like I said. He'd become a woman.
Damn. Okay. So you do admit that you're a woman. So Takt, what's your answer?
If I could be born again, who would you want to be? I don't know. I'd be a stick insect.
A stick and how fucking specific, bro.
I don't know. I'm just picking something at random. A stick insect.
Alright, so a cheesecake, a stick insect. Oh god. Alright, so let's move on to Recorrelations, questions, sorry. First question he asks is, on the top of your head, who are five of your favorite anime or manga characters of all time? And what field of study that you currently don't do, interesting, is the most interesting to you? Interesting question. Second one. What about the first one, guys? What do you think? And he also has a bonus question because I kind of get the joke because it's kind of, basically I told him no one from the podcast would watch, shoujo anime or manga, but he had to ask it anyway. He asks, why is shoujo genre your favorite? I'm gonna choose one character from each manga, random order of manga. From One Piece, I'm gonna choose Don Quixote do Flamingo, cause he's not my favorite character of all time in One Piece, but he's really,
Don't go into
emphasized.
explanation, you'll take years.
Yeah,
Just...
not bad. From Kingdom, General Oki. Dude, that guy is just... Anyway, from Toriko, I would choose Starjin. So I got three right now. Don Quixote do Flamingo, Oki, General Oki, and, Starjin. From Noblesse, Frankenstein. And last but not least, from Kuroko no Basket, Murasaki Bara. There you go. Just from the top of my head. These are not by no means my favorite of all time. It's just what I kind of got in my mind. But I mean, Sergeant Don Quixote do Flamingo, Oki are one of my favorites of all time. But anyway, it probably, like, if we're talking real favorites, it would be Guts from Berserk, Johan from Monster, and these kind of characters. But yeah, also, I have to fucking mention this. From Hunter x Hunter, Netero. Isaac Netero. Anyway, what field of study that you currently don't do is the most interesting to you? I really wanted to do astronomy, and I ended up with animation because astronomy is not as emphasized in the university I go to, but I really wanted to like have some sort of astronomy / design field into it where I'm a designer with astronomy tools and whatnot, because I'm really fascinated by space, and at the same time, I want to include my favorite thing to do, which is designing and animating, into astronomy, but that couldn't happen, so I'm just a mere animator who is still a very much of a beginner when it comes to animating. And yeah, bonus question, because boobies.
which to be honest don't appear much in that genre anyway.
Yeah.
So that invalidates your answer.
I don't watch JoJo, so I don't know.
I was about to start then as well.
Alright, MDN, go for it, bro.
Top favorite, and I'll just do the same as you did with the different characters from animes. Gotta go no basket would be Daiki Ayomine. Toriko would be Zebra. Naruto, Neji Hyuga. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I was always a fan. It's a weird one.
Was amazing. Neji Part 1 was amazing. Part 2, like, none of the Konoha were emphasized. Yeah. Not his fault. It's not,
And after that, Luffy, because main character of One Piece. And I would say Ichigo before, well, by the end of Soul Society arc. After that, I didn't really, his character went downhill, but
definitely
I'll just exclude it.
Ichigo, it was awesome.
Yeah, he was awesome, and then kind of died off. Field, I would really like, it's always been something I wanted to do, is to actually create my own games. And I've actually tried to get into it, but there's just nowhere local for me to basically find it, because just the idea of creating something from scratch that you're going to put out for someone else to play and they will have an opinion, and I just think it would be a really good thing to do.
Alright, are you done with your answer? Or you want to...
My favourite shoujo, why shoujo is my favourite genre? I've got to say boobs too.
Alright, Divvens, take it from here, Mr. Bibbs.
My top 5 manga or anime characters of all time would be: first is Shanks from One Piece, Nanba Mutta from Space Brothers, Thorfinn from Vinland Saga,
damn.
Kamina from Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, and Cece from Code Geass. And my favorite, my field of study that I currently don't do is the most interesting to me. I have followed whatever I liked. Frankly, my dad was very supportive, and I dropped what I didn't like and I followed what I liked. So I don't have something that I want to do, but running OJ, I do also want to sort of get into computer engineering and programming and stuff, which I can frankly do online. That's not a big issue. So if I have to name something, it would be computer engineering. And for the bonus question, why is shoujo genre my favorite, my answer would be the same as the other two.
Alright. Takt, take it from here, bro.
Alright, my top 5 favorite anime or manga characters. I'm not gonna choose one character from one manga because I read way too few manga anyway. So my number 5 is Yuha Bak. Number 4 is Uchiha Itachi. Number 3 is a choice from left field, I guess, but Crocodile, because I really like Crocodile. Number 2 is Hey from Darker Than Black. And number 1 is Trafalgar Law.
Dude, you don't have Fujitora in the top 5.
Yeah, because I want to see more of him. I mean, all of these characters, I've seen a lot of them.
Honorable mention at least.
He's a Lofen.
Okay. Yeah, Fujitora is number 6 then.
Alright, so, because we just got that out of the way, let's move on.
Field of study that I'm interested in, but I don't currently do, architecture. Yeah, I'm really interested in architecture. How you can just build buildings, outrageous buildings, just from the inner bowels of your imagination. It's a really fascinating field for me. And why is shoujo genre your favorite? The sparkles, man. Too many sparkles.
And boobs.
And that. But that's already been said. I don't want to be a bandwagoner.
You're a combo breaker, that's what you are.
Yeah, I'm a combo breaker, man.
Damn it. Alright, so we have a combo breaker, officially. Alright, we have 2 questions submitted by Zhao Tenki. I hope I pronounced that right. And she asks, what will you do if there will be a news... Okay, so let me just read it real quick, because what would you do if there will be news that they will stop the anime and manga of One Piece? What country except... You have to fucking say except Japan, because everyone in the anime and manga community will say Japan. Except Japan would you like to visit if given a chance, and why? Japan. Did I mention that? Japan. I would like to go to Japan. Anyway, just kidding. Takt. Take it.
What would I do if there was news that One Piece was going to be stopped? Same answer as the question where all manga would be stopped. I would destroy a few things.
Nuclear bombs.
What?
Nuclear bombs.
Nuclear bombs, yeah. Everything, the whole shebang. Anyway, what country would I like to visit other than Japan? Spain. Definitely Spain. I'd like to visit Barcelona in particular.
It probably has something to do with soccer.
Yeah, football. I want to watch a match in that gigantic stadium, 98,000 seater, the new camp. Yeah, but that's what I would do.
Alright, MDN?
What would I do if there was no One Piece or anime or manga? It's kind of different to if there was no manga, because I would kind of make it a mission to go to Japan and kind of hound Oda as to why he's decided to stop One Piece. And my life probably wouldn't be complete until, I had the answer, and I'd probably just sleep outside his house for a few weeks. But the country I would like to go to, except Japan, I probably won't be allowed in Japan anymore after that one, but I would like to go to New Zealand, because that's where
I'm so
Lord
curious.
of the Rings was,
Oh, that's a good
filmed
choice.
there. Like, it's like a very beautiful place if you look at stuff there.
Okay. What about you, Divs?
As MDN said, for the first question, if there was a news that they will stop anime and manga, I would sell everything I have, and I would go to Japan, and I would join the million people protesting outside Oda's house, and yeah, things would get very violent. What country except Japan would you like to visit, if given a chance, and why? Is because I would like to visit Netherlands, and the question is obvious because of Luke. We are so close friends, we are almost like brothers, and there's a plan to meet him, but I don't know when it's going to happen. So, if there was a given chance, I would go to Netherlands.
A little bit of bromance there?
Nothing wrong with a little bit of bromance.
Nah, I didn't say nothing wrong with it, man. Bromance is what keeps bros. I'm just gonna move on. Alright, so, my answer to, your first question, what would happen, what would I do if there was, if One Piece was, stopped, manga and anime? Thing is, you guys say that you'd go to Japan to question him, but he'd be assassinated way before we even get to the chance. Like, he'd be assassinated. Like, Oda would be assassinated by some angry 16-year-old kid with a knife, butter knife specifically.
What a way to die.
Yep. 16-year-old butter knife. That's the best way to go. But yeah, seriously though, realistically speaking,
He would cry in a corner. That's what he would do.
other than that, I would spend, if Oda doesn't tell us why, I would spend, hours upon hours every day searching the internet for an answer from Oda. Why he stopped. Like, look, every interview he's ever been in since he said he's gonna stop writing One Piece, and just find out why and hope that it comes back, I guess. Really. Realistically speaking. But he would get assassinated by a butter knife. Seriously. Question 2. What country except Japan would you like to visit if given the chance, and why? Now, coming from a country that is extremely freaking hot, I would want to go to the coldest place. I don't care if it's a continent or a country. I just really want to go to.
That would be Canada as of now.
Other than Canada, because Canada is civilized, and it's just a country with a lot of really cold, but at the same time just buildings and everything. And I would like to go to Antarctica because I hope I can fucking survive the cold, but at the same time, I just want to be there really bad and just feast my eyes upon mountains of snow that don't even finish as far as my eye vision's range can go. And penguins. Penguins. I would like to see penguins.
If you want that, there are safer options than Antarctica. You're just gonna die there.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna... Then it would be worth it, man. Screw it. Screw it. No, seriously though, like, Antarctica is one of the places I really want to go to, and it's not even about, just seeing snow. It's just that I really want to go there for the experience. I've been to the Amazon. I've been to a lot of crazy places in my life, and Antarctica is one place that I will go to when I have no idea. Hopefully soon, like before I get commitments and shit. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next question. Chopper666 asks, what is your favorite One Piece volume and why? And what is your favorite meal? I want to kind of say, as far as let me hold on to my answer. Anyone here has a specific favorite volume they want to go through and answer, or?
I don't read by volumes, so I'm not sure which one, but whichever volume had what do you call it, the Enies Lobby stuff, like the Bridge of Hesitation. That would be my favorite volume, definitely. The whole when Usopp appears at the Bridge of Hesitation and he starts sniping down the Spandam and everybody else, and then he hands over the keys to Robin's cuffs. That would be my favorite volume. If you can get a number, then yeah, I don't know what
That's
number.
That's from volume 39 to 46, almost to 46. 39 to 44 to be exact.
Okay. What about the other question, Takt?
My favorite meal would be sambar and rice.
Really?
That would be my favorite.
Oh, fucking typical.
You select sambar over biryani? Really?
No, because the way my mom makes sambar is just unbeatable. I mean, she doesn't even make biryani that well as she makes sambar. So sambar would be my favorite.
Yeah, this is two Indian guys talking about food for everybody.
Biryani is the most fucking overrated thing I've ever eaten in my life. So
Shut up.
You just suck. You
have no
suck. Taste.
You suck.
You have no taste.
You suck with a capital S.
Dude, I ate biryani since I was like 5. I got bored of it. Like, excuse me? Shit. Someone has to have an opinion.
How many
anyway.
Hyderabadi biryani?
Well, see about that. Okay. As far as what my favorite One Piece volume is, it's the volume where I think it's either 51, 52, or 53. I'm not really sure, but it's the volume where Rayleigh first stepped in and with Kizaru. Because the amount of fanboyism at that part of my life, I was so fucking ecstatic in that part, because I really wanted to see Rayleigh fight in Sapporo Archipelago, and when it did happen, the way he just introduced himself, and that kick, and that explosion, and all of that was just it's probably my favorite moment in One Piece, and just seeing how Kizaru and Rayleigh were clashing their swords, and no homo, clashing their swords, and just the way they were fighting.
You just had to add that.
You just had to add the no homo.
I have to. Sorry. No, I have to. What the hell? Anyway, the way they were fighting, and the remarks Rayleigh was saying, and how Kizaru was like, you're old, and you're making an admiral work his ass off, trying to just fend you off. That should be enough for you. That was just, I was such a fanboy of that part, and yeah, that's probably my favorite One Piece volume. And it was in Sapporo Archipelago. Can you fucking deny how great Sapporo Archipelago was? And the way Kuma entered in that volume and whatnot. As far as my favorite meal is concerned, oh shit. Again, this question, the answer for it changes for me on a daily basis and a monthly basis to be more realistic.
That's a good point, actually. Same for me. Anyway, go on.
So, like, currently, since I came to the U.S. and even some types of food that I ate in the U.S., I'm starting to get sick of. But currently, the best type of food I could probably eat and not get bored of, just my favorite type of food, would probably be IHOP pancakes. Really. IHOP pancakes are a gift from the heavens themselves.
And he has not been paid to say this.
I am seriously not being paid to say this. Oh shit! Just put 3 pancakes on top of each other, and order blueberries stuffed in the pancakes, and you have 5 syrups on the table for you to choose from. And sometimes I go crazy and just put 2 syrups at the same time, and just freaking strawberry and whipped cream and banana at the top with strawberry and lemonade juice. That is I'm probably gonna go to IHOP after this podcast, just to eat that. Pancakes from IHOP. Go ahead, MDN.
I don't know the actual One Piece volume, but it's the arc that Luffy's flashback with Sabo and Ace started, because it's just kind of a nostalgia feel, because that's when I first got up to date. Well, not when I got up to date, but that was the first whole arc I ever read when I was up to date. Can't think, and it's just any time I see that, it's not my favourite arc, but any time I see it, watch it, it always brings me back to a proper feeling of nostalgia of back when I first started One Piece. My favourite meal? This restaurant.
Already got it, the biryani.
No. It's not restaurant. It's kind of like a it's like a noodle bar called Walk and Go, and they make everything there fresh, and it is the nicest thing I've ever had in my life. And I could, other than the fact that it's expensive, I could go there every day and eat there every day and get the same thing without fail, and I would never get bored of it. It is the best food I've ever had, ever. And I would recommend it to anyone who comes to England.
Good God, it's a good thing this was the last question, because I am so hungry now.
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
I know, right?
Chopper, we blame you.
No. The fact that he asked his question at the end is a good thing. If that was the first question, I wouldn't have been capable of going through the Q&A. Biryani sucks. If you want to end the podcast with Biryani.
He's a noob. I need to answer my question, you idiot.
Go ahead. Nobody's stopping you.
What is my favorite One Piece volume and why? That would be volume 58. The name of this era, the name of this age is Whitebeard. For reasons everybody knows, it's the main volume with the whole War Summit arc. And my favorite meal would be, frankly, anything with chicken, but as of now it would be biryani, just to mess with Sam. And if he comes if he comes to India, that's all he's going to eat. That's all he's going to eat.
I better expect something else, man.
No, that's all you're going to eat.
No, honestly, biryani in India it has different standards.
Biryani
I know,
with 65, Takt would know.
What?
Biryani with chicken 65.
Oh, yes. Although I don't eat it since I'm vegetarian, but I have heard good things about it. Actually, chicken biryani in Hyderabad, nothing beats it.
Yeah.
Definitely, I agree with that. I totally know what that was.
Yeah.
There you go. Sammy agrees with
Alright. I would like to say one thing before I move on. As far as favorite meal is concerned, all-time favorite, that's something I can't get bored of. Kebab. Just Lebanese kebab, Iraqi kebab. Yeah. That I would never get bored of ever in my life. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to state that. And so yeah, firstly, I just want to thank MDN for gracing us with his presence and his fucking amazing accent. And,
I didn't think you'd go that far, but...
Nah, man. But yeah, I mean, the discussions were fun with him. The discussions were fun in general. And the questions this time were really funny, and I'm glad I went with we went with the random free-for-all Q&A, and was a good time. And yeah, that's what I have to say about this week. And expect a podcast in like 3 to 4 days, because like 3 days or 4 days, because the chapter is going to come out soon. So extra work for us, but we were going to do it. It's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
I would like to thank MTN and Takt for joining us. Takt is now a part of the host, so I don't need to thank him anymore from this week onwards, but MTN is the guest. So thank you for joining us, MTN. And your accent does not disappoint me, because I am a fan of the Scottish accent, especially. I keep forgetting the actor's name. He was in the movie called Bounty Hunter.
By the way, he was British. I think his accent is
Liverpudlian, Scouse.
Southern.
Scouse, yeah, Liverpool. It's Northern England.
But it sounds a lot like the Scottish accent.
I often get Scottish when I talk over the phone, so I'm used to it.
So thank you for joining us, and I hope everybody enjoys this episode. I'm going to keep a lot of our laughings, and I'm going to keep a lot of.
No, seriously.
Yeah, it's all going to be here.
Do me a favor, Divvens. Don't even edit the freaking.
No, that's going to be
Q&A.
too long. Then. Yeah, Q&A is going to be the same. There's going to be very minimal editing, and the crew we have now, the reporters.
Keep all the good stuff.
We have done a good job. So thank you, both of you, for joining, and hope you had fun on this podcast episode.
I just want to say thanks, MDN, for joining us. It's been fun, and yeah, I like your accent too. It's good stuff.
This ends now.
That was so fucking creepy.
I know.
Alright.
Keep it in, Divvens.
Yeah, I know. MDN, what do you have to say?
Just basically thanks for having me. I've enjoyed the discussions. Been good.
Okay, you should have spoken a bit more, though.
Man, probably.
Few words. Man of few words, definitely.
It's kind of like, I don't like jumping in the middle of people, which is, a problem in a discussion, but I try to get in there.
It's really our fault. We talk too much. Especially me.
Yeah.
No. This time, both of you talk too much, basically.
Thank you. Tash, thank you.
Wow.
I appreciate what
you and Sammy spoke more than me.
What? No.
No, you spoke way more. I was just silent for a while.
Yeah, I'm totally defending Tash right now while...
Sammy, go and cry. That's what you're doing.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.
Later.
Alright, bye.
Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Pick up the crew in the area. Still love you like that. No, we don't die. Yes, we multiply. Anyone press with the fire they sing. Act like you know we go. I know what don't know. Touch them up and go. Ching. Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Still love you like that. Extraordinary, just like a strawberry. Money to burn, baby, all the time. Got to fade is me, fade to cut is she. Come juggle with me, I say every time. Yeah, come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Dial